Oh, is that really all the update changed? Okay. Whatever.
What
Hello,
update?
internet. Fanfiction time.
I'm in
Just
Contempt.
gonna go straight into live, boys. Straight to live.
Oh, goody.
So does anyone have a preferred section they want to look at tonight?
Is there Elden Ring yet?
Please
I
no.
hope to God not, but maybe. Let's see.
Please
I
Games.
think we're gonna
That
be,
was probably Elden Ring
E
within the first 2
section.
days.
No,
There was
just
on
Elden
AO3.
Ring. Just Elder Scrolls. Yeah, it's because on AO3 people can make their own categories.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
On fanfiction.net they have to wait for that.
Yeah, searching for Elden Ring gives 2 results.
Yeah.
A Danmachi story and a Dark Souls story.
Already a Danmachi story.
It's not a crossover, it's
Oh, okay.
well, I'll just link it to you because I think it's better experienced than being told about. Honestly.
What in the actual... The Danmachi
Okay, so hang on,
Giga Crisis. Bell writes a Dark Souls one-shot.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to.
Alright, that's a new one. I've seen characters read X story. I've never seen character writes
X story. It's an author
Yeah.
writing what Bell thinks they would write the Dark Souls story. Okay.
That's a new one,
boy.
if nothing else.
Yeah,
I'll grant him this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Haven't seen that.
originality. Yeah.
Double
That's,
layer meta.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, before we start,
boy,
you said you wanted to
that's-
do something?
Special. No, I was just gonna say, I was scrolling through headlines, and Poland is immediately ready to donate all of its MiG-29s.
Oh, yeah, we already covered all of that.
No. I thought it said immediately detonate all of its MiG-29s, and I was like, well, that's a little fucking rude, boys. I thought we were giving those to the Ukraine.
Yeah, well, there's been a change of plans.
Unfortunately, the Pentagon
Yeah,
is
that
cringe.
was what I was like. I guess there's been a change of plans then.
The deal
That's certainly
has changed.
that would certainly be the interesting fuck you to someone, though.
Oh god, what the fuck is this? Okay.
So this apparently goes a layer further, Sneaky, because apparently
no.
they're basing part of this off of the mobile game.
Oh god.
So
Why?
my little brother just sent me a YouTube clip.
Oh no.
How to respond to someone when they ask for a source. My source is I made it the fuck up, now shut up, bitch.
Yeah, some Max or Revengeance then.
Yeah, the Revengeance.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
source is I made it the fuck up. Oh, that's funny.
Well, that is a sussy Jack.
I'm gonna kick you.
It's from the video too. You can't kick me for making a reference in the video you just referenced.
I absolutely can do that. I am the boss here. See, I can be as cringe as I want. That's how this works. This is not a democracy.
Yeah.
Oh god. Is this no, don't tell me he's got a whole series about this. Giga Crisis.
No.
Okay.
Please don't.
No, but
No,
apparently he
that's-
cancels his stuff often though.
Thank God.
Oh boy.
Yeah. A gate AU where they invade a multinational organization known as the Federation.
What?
What?
Is this a Star Trek crossover?
No, it gets even better. The Federation, which controls the largest energy source in the world, geothermal deposits.
Ah, yes. We
What?
control
Through
the
the
entire
power of
ground.
geothermal energy, the Federation rose to the point where no nation could counter them. Ah, yes! By
what
the
is this,
power of
the-
these heat plants!
What
Clearly
is
that
this? The
translates
fucking
to nuclear power.
greater Icelandic Empire or something?
Is this? Hello.
The crust of the earth.
Bring! Yes, hello! This is the Adaptus Mechanicus. I want your heat vents.
I
And
am just
toasters.
really confused by this one. How, like, you could come up with a whole bunch of reasons, but the author literally states, through the
Wait.
power of geothermal power plants, they control the world.
Like, listen.
It's
I
a
would be
Project Wingman crossover.
super.
It's a
I
what?
would be
No.
super happy
Yeah.
if this was in fact Gate showing up and teaching those fucking bitch ass wimpy people in the Federation what war means.
Yeah,
No,
that'd be
this
funny.
is
Yes.
this Project Wingman. So
It-
it's basically the UN, but they went sicko mode and nuked like all of the northwestern
Right,
United
but
States.
that's not what the author said here. They said through the
No.
power of geothermal energy they
Yeah.
control the world,
It-
which is
Well, yeah, I'm just providing context on.
I'm aware of the
Yeah,
context. I'm just saying the author is retarded. Is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
But
Let's
Yeah.
see here. Another attempt at writing a Don Machi story. 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 Yeah, he tries to write these Don
Wait.
Machi stories pretty often, and they don't seem to be doing.
wait,
too hot.
this isn't even a story.
Maybe you should stop fucking writing Don Machi stories, kid.
This man literally wrote a list of things. Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna report that for
God, this is cringe as hell.
non-story.
I just. What the fucking hell, man? I don't.
Excellent.
I'm honestly, I'm more shocked that there's 2 stories for I Divine Cybermancy. I didn't even know people knew about that game.
That is a game. It's a special game, and we
Yeah.
should all thank Mandalore Gaming for showing it to us.
What did I just walk into? Oh, hey, look at who's here.
Plenty of people have played I before.
So, I think in the interest of everyone, we should do some Pokemon stories right now.
Is there a particular reason for that?
No, I'm just trying to ruin my little brother's enjoyment of Pokemon.
Ah,
Is that who just
Good
walked
man.
into the stream?
excellent. Godspeed.
Welcome, Sneaky's brother.
He made a mistake checking up on you.
I sent
Yeah.
the link.
You fucked
Oh,
up,
you're-
buddy.
Listen. You've known this son of a bitch for how long? You're literally related to him. You should know better. Listen, me, Max, Nose, we met this man through the internet or through
No,
college. We didn't have an
college.
excuse before we knew him.
No,
it was
you
too
two
late.
met me through college. I literally walked up to you in a bus and just said, "Hey, you're talking about
I
Dota."
said the
Now I
internet
will
or
too.
college, Sneaky.
Well, no, those are wildly different things. That and you can't just be like, "Oh yeah, I met this guy between I met him through army camp.
Okay.
Yeah, he was also part of
Sneaky, it
furry
was a
community."
part of the list he mentioned, so the internet or was because of me.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. What I'm saying is you can't list off 3 people, and then be like, "Yeah, we met through college or the internet," and just be like, "Well, yeah, only one of those you met through the internet."
Oh no, you can though. That's how the English language works.
Yeah,
He
well,
was
my point-
phonetically and contextually correct.
That's not how a list
Uh,
works.
Too bad.
I'm
Who
right.
cares?
Fuck you.
What
I'm the best kind of right.
This
technically
a horror story for Pokemon called Liminal. Summary: You should come home. You were never meant for dungeon exploration.
Dungeon exploration.
Oh no, is this
Oh
a
yeah,
mystery
it's a
dungeon story?
Pokemon mystery dungeon story.
Oh no.
And it's horror. I wonder what's gonna happen
Yeah, it's a
here.
horror. Yeah, I'm not really
Ooh.
sure where they're trying to go with that one. Oh yeah, here's a classic of the Pokemon section. This is Ash Ketchum, but he's gonna be a total badass at the start of the story. And
Oh,
these
I was gonna
stories,
say, is it that? I was gonna say the top 2 guesses are
yeah.
betrayal story, or Ash is secretly a badass.
Yeah, Ash is secretly a badass
Yeah.
and starts off the whole Pokemon League thing. This
And,
is an
Oh,
absolute
and then
classic
there's
of the
ones
section.
where Ash is definitely going to bang every single one of
Oh
his
yeah,
female Pokemon.
well no, that's just a side effect. A lot of those stories, like Ash is such a badass, he just gains a harem. Yeah, he's 10 years old. Why are you looking at me like that?
Don't worry, he
Sneaky.
works out enough that he has the body of a 15-year-old.
My little brother knows what's up.
Wasn't he 15 in Japan? I don't remember.
No, the age was 10 or something. It was like either 10 or 12. Like they didn't de-age him. You're thinking of the other anime attempt that Japan made. Sort of like how Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 exists.
Oh no.
We don't talk about the anime of season 0.
Oh no, Sneaky.
I do because those first 3 episodes were hilarious.
They were
That-
actually funny as hell. It's
Well,
just
they
like,
were, but
would you like to play a
after
game?
that-
Sure, what game? Russian roulette! Except if you die, you go to the Shadow Realm! It's like, what the fuck?
Yo,
yes,
that was a
Kaiba
wild
green
3
hair.
episodes.
Look,
green
Sneaky.
hair Kaiba, does anyone remember
The
that
story
shit?
above the one you're currently hovering
We're
over.
standing sideways on top of this
no,
building
no,
playing the rope
We are
game.
ignoring that story, Arn. We're not
Yeah.
even going to acknowledge the existence of that story.
No, but like the author has written 2,576 stories.
No.
At least 80% of which are about farting.
Unholy fucking hell.
Yeah.
What
Hey.
did I just hear?
What
Yeah.
the fuck is this profile? This is just
They
how
have
many
been,
story sections they've written for.
That's-
What the
You don't even get
actual fuck?
You don't get a
Yeah.
choice in this part of your profile. Fanfiction.net just does it.
Oh my!
Guess who?
They've been
They've written a farting Guess Who story.
Oh no.
God.
Holy shit.
Sneaky
They've
is
been
the
on-
last one on
I
the
think
list.
this.
Oh
Hololive.
no!
No. Can we not?
What
They've been a
This-
member since 2005.
I
And-
Oh
I
my god! I
sincerely hope this is
Oh.
just meme posting. I very
Wow.
specifically avoided the more common phrase.
No.
As of this year, they will
Oh
have
my
been.
god!
If you're shit posting for a decade and a half, actually 17 years straight, you aren't shit posting anymore. That's a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. If you no, that Max, that right up there, that's along the lines of guys I was only pretending to be retarded. Like, you can't do something for 10 years straight and just be like, guys, I'm definitely not interested in fart fetish. I only write 2,000 stories for it. I'm not interested in it. It's a joke. Sorry, that's not how that works.
That this dude is the logical extreme of it stops being a joke at some point.
There was a point it stopped
this
being a
fucking-
joke,
Listen,
and it was
at
in the other
some
fucking
point-
state.
At some point, you have
in-
gone past being the straight man. You've
Mr.
gone past
Worldwide.
playing the joke to the hill. You've gone so far down that the only possible conclusion is you aren't honest with yourself.
You're literally hitting mantle. You're digging so deep.
Yeah.
He was
Never
Joe
mind.
Madden.
The only good thing about this is that his average chapter length is somewhere around 100 words.
Well, yeah, because it's just about people farting.
Yeah.
Why am I getting a phone
Still.
call? Who the hell is calling me?
I'm not sure. That implies someone wants to speak.
My
with
little
you.
brother.
Oh yeah, I fucking thought so.
You want to share your thoughts? Uh-huh. Yeah?
We can't hear
Interesting.
him.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
That's because he hung up.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, he's on Pastebin? What are you posting to Pastebin, author?
Facebook.
The
Oh
stuff
my
that you
god,
can't
I haven't
post
heard
here.
that in a while.
What are you
Motherfucker
posting
has
to
his own board. What the fuck?
He's on Pastebin? His own Boru? Oh my God. Tumblr.
Don't click it, Sneaky.
And
Don't click
Twitter.
it. Do not click it. Do not click it,
Don't.
Tiki. Do not click it.
And he has
There's-
his
Yeah,
own okay,
don't worry,
he
don't worry.
has his own
The links
TV
are all
tropes
broken.
page.
The links are all broken.
Yeah, all the links are broken. And since I was stupid enough to do it, I now have my own board on 4chan. Or 8chan, sorry,
no.
8chan.
8chan. That
This
actually
author's
works. I
cursed.
think.
This author's absolutely cursed. This is
Yeah.
extremely cursed. Holy shit, this is cursed.
Every day we stray further from the light of God.
Why?
This man is
Why?
responsible for at least 3 of the steps we take.
By Allah, I shall smite you, inshallah.
Alright, we're just gonna keep going. we're just gonna
Yeah.
keep going.
Thank
I'm
you.
not sorry, by the way.
Waking up to an adventure, Indigo League. 10-year-old Ash Ketchum is starting Pokemon Journey in Town of Pallet, determined to beat
Okay,
his
wait,
rival.
Sneaky.
Yes.
I got a question.
Yes.
Do we have anything for Batman the Animated Series in Pokemon? I'm praying the answer is
Oh,
no.
no, of
but-
course we do. No, obviously. I'll just go over here to the crossover section. And I'll just hit
And
B.
kill my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, just absolutely. I mean, you asked. So Batman, Superman, Batman, Brave and Bold, Batman Beyond. So Batman Beyond, right?
No.
And the
no.
animated.
Do they not just have Batman the Animated Series?
Oh, we got Batman, Batman, Batman. We got Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Batman Beyond, Batman, Superman, Batman, Brave and Bold. So it might
Wait,
be one of the
what the
Batmans.
yeah,
There are 3
maybe. I
Batman
don't know.
categories. Wait.
Why is there a Bayonetta?
Wait, why are you surprised by this? So yeah, so B again. We go
Yeah.
Bayonetta. So Bayonetta, where is Bayonetta? Bayonetta.
I don't know.
Bayonetta. Bayonetta. Bayonetta.
Start from the bottom first row.
You'll find it
Yeah.
eventually.
Don't worry, I'm blind. God damn it!
Yeah.
Why?
Of course, it had to be him.
Oh.
Why must you haunt us?
Just the fucking statistical likelihood.
I crave the sweet release of death.
I swear to you, I had no prior knowledge.
I am going to
crave
start
for the
drinking.
I'm gonna
sweet
commit some
release
war crimes.
of
That's
death.
what I'm about to do.
Fucking kill me.
Cheers,
Just
boys.
fucking kill me. Just fucking kill me.
Hang on, I'm
End
about to.
my
I'm
life.
about to go to Ukraine.
I'm about to go to Ukraine.
So, comrade, why did you come to Ukraine? I came to fucking die. That's rough, buddy.
I came because
wait.
curse.
FTL? How do you have a Pokemon FTL crossover? One's about running away in space, and the other one's about fucking monsters in your pocket.
I assume the crew is Pokemon or something,
That
or
don't make sense.
it's just a bunch of like gym leaders as crew members. That's
I-
all I got, man.
This dude is the only one writing in this section. It's just the same
Credit
man.
for you, sir.
No one is favoriting your stories, man. Why do you keep writing? Do a FNAF Pokemon one. I want to see if it exists. Of course it exists.
Oh, of course that exists.
That
you
is
idiot.
so obvious. Five Nights at Freddy's. It's gonna be right here. Yeah, 32
Why are there so
stories.
many Final Fantasy?
Why? Why is the first one by a man named I Am Pancake Satan?
We have to click on it, Sneaky. Sneaky, we have to click on it.
Is a name, certainly.
We have to click the name.
No, he
Fun
has a
Time
Discord.
Freddy's Pokemon Adventure.
Oh no.
What?
Oh, this is the most laughter I've gotten out of this show in several months.
Yeah, okay. He has a story called Mario and Luigi Fazbear Party.
I'm
Oh,
sure he
no.
does. At least it's not about farting.
You don't know that yet.
Well, yeah. So
I'm going to pretend that it's not about farting, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to click on it, so I don't get that illusion shattered, okay, Max?
You do you.
Exactly. Funtime
Well, I
Freddy's
mean-
Pokemon Adventure by I am Pancake Satan 666. Funtime Freddy and Bon
Are these all
Bon.
just shit posts? Are these
I-
all shit posts, or is this
I hope.
literally just like 14-year-olds
You
writing
don't-
bullshit that comes out of their head?
Yes, probably. I hope. That's my only hope here. I'm getting the vodka.
Vodka on a
Right.
Tuesday,
Cheers.
ladies and gentlemen.
I'll
Yeah.
drink
Vodka
that.
on a Tuesday.
So I started off the night with whiskey, and now I'm moving the vodka. Okay. Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon get tossed into a new world known as Aloha. That's Hawaii isn't a world. I think we're dealing with a
Hawaii is not a
14-year-old.
world.
I think we're dealing with a 14-year-old. I think this 14-year-old genuinely believes Sword and Shield is a separate world of Pokemon.
I mean,
Quite
this
possibly.
I'm calling you
That is
again.
almost
God.
is an
possibility.
AU. Sneaky. It's an AU, so maybe.
Oh, of course.
But,
Obviously, it's an AU.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Why wouldn't it be?
What do you want, Squirt? Yeah, I know it hurts to look at. That's why I'm doing it.
We're paid for this.
Yeah, technically we are, aren't we?
Yes, technically we are in fact being paid to do this. So that's right,
Well, some
everyone.
of us
Use your Twitch Prime memberships on me. Thank you, please. Keep the money coming. I have to afford the alcohol somehow. And no, I did not spend your paychecks on alcohol. Just most of them. And now they
Well,
have to figure
On the
out a
positive
way to
side,
go
if
home.
he dies, we can use the show for something else, Max.
That would require you guys, like, doing things. You don't do
Listen,
things.
right now, the thing that you're doing is making money, so we don't need to do anything else besides show up and contribute.
That's a fair point. How will they
Yeah.
find their way home? Will the mysterious Pokemon return them? Or is this truly where they wanted to be? A humor adventure story featuring Funtime Freddy and Ash. Because apparently Funtime Freddy in this AU isn't a murderous monster stuffed with children.
To be fair, we don't know that yet.
That's a fair point.
Look, it's just safer if you shoot it in the face.
Also, fair point. So, anyway, Funtime Freddy's sitting there, Bon Bon's on his hand, and then a portal opens up, and the Hoopla Pokemon,
By the way, I still like the idea
Yeah.
of the Aperture Science Springlock suits. Yeah, don't get in these. Steals your soul. Testing suspended.
We're still working out if that's a side effect or a feature. Please stop committing suicide in the Aperture Science suits. They will not give you immortality. We've lost 7 employees already.
And 4 testers.
I realize the war with the Mantis Men is not going well.
So someone tricked one of the Mantis Men into getting into the soul-stealing suit, and now we have a murder suit. It
Not
hungers
quite
for
sure how
human
they did it.
flesh.
I'm looking into that as well.
We are impressed with their initiative. They will be receiving Employee of the Month if we can resuscitate them long enough to accept the award.
Basically. So, yeah, Hoopla shows up, and they go, what? And then they fall through the portal, and then they're on grass, and they see trees. They're talking to each other. They're looking around. There's more trees. There's a town. And they're like, yo, whoa. And then Funtime Freddy's, yo, what? A human is over there.
I'm gonna kill it.
I'm Funtime Freddy, Machine Min is Atin, Ash Ketchum, I'm gonna be a Pokemon Master, so these creatures are Pokemon. Yeah, these creatures are Pokemon. They're amazing, right? Yeah. Well, I wanna go to sleep now. Sorry about my buddy, his name's Bon Bon. Whoa, is he a Pokemon? What? No, I'm not an animal. We're animatronics. Cool. Do you wanna join me on an adventure? What the fuck is this dialogue?
This is This
Surgical
is a-
violence.
this is a
I'm
14
a machine. Oh, would you want to come with me on an adventure?
This
to
is
be
definitely
fair,
some like young kid. This is 100% some kid that decided I'm
Ash
just
would be
gonna
that
write.
stupid.
I mean,
I don't
yes.
know. Any of the FNAF 6 would fit in well with the I Kill Kids part of Pokemon. What part of wait? Hold the fuck up. What part
Hold
of
up.
Pokemon? Okay, no, hold on a second. No, a lot of Pokemon entries deal with killing children. That's fair enough.
Yes.
Well, no, Sneaky. They don't kill them. They just vigorously threaten them.
No. One of the Pokemon in Alola literally eats the souls of children that go to the beach.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like that's not actually true given what we've seen, because that's 100% written by like hyperactive imagination 14-year-olds who catch the Pokemon and are not actual.
I mean,
Lore
no, that's
bits.
just headcanon. But, I mean, as far as canon goes, that's all we got to work with, so...
Fair.
I mean, look, in the anime, so we're gonna use the anime as some backup here. So if you guys remember, back in the original anime, when Ash visits the haunted tower, and the haunter literally rips the soul out of his body because he thought that would be funny.
Oh yeah, that was an
Yes.
episode.
Oh yeah, that was
An
an episode.
And it wasn't a fever dream.
Yeah,
It
and like
actually
he
happened.
Ash
real.
had to make his way back to the. He had to convince the ghost to let him go back to his body before he became a ghost permanently. Like,
Didn't
if
he
that
have to get
was-
Sabrina's help for that? Or not
somebody,
Sabrina,
no. I think he played a really good prank, and they all laughed about it, and they let him go. Like he had to
Pretty much,
out
like-
prank the ghosts or something.
Yeah, he was like originally fine with it, and then like Misty started crying, and he's like, "Oh shit, this is bad."
Yeah, Misty or something. Yeah, they like literally like
fucking
they
forget.
licked the soul out of him and shit. Like it was fucking weird. But I mean, the ghost types thought it was a prank to rip someone's soul out of their body. So if the Pokedex entry says, yeah, this ghost casually brainwashes children to build it and then eats their souls upon completion, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, also
That's a
keep
good
in mind
point.
we also have Yamask, which is a canon Pokemon as well, who canonically, as we've seen in both the show and part of plot, they carry around the mask of their human selves, and by either wearing the mask or touching the mask, allows you to see the memories of their previous lives. So, you straight up have a connection between human souls turning into ghost types.
that's weird.
Yeah, it's
It's a
it's
thing.
a thing.
It's a thing.
Or what is it? Isn't it Stump Test? Whatever. The one
Trevenants, yeah, Stumps and Trevenants, yeah.
the one that's literally the ghosts of children lost in the Contempt forest that died.
And then possessing
Phantom.
Stumps, yeah, Phantoms, and then the pumpkins,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something
And
like
then
that.
there's the one that's
Something
like
like-
the
yeah.
discarded
distorted
hopes
realm.
and dreams of children. Don't forget about that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Bayonet dolls possessed by the emotions of children, yeah. So I mean, like there's a fair amount of stuff that is obviously make believe, like the fact that the lava slugs are like 10 bajillion degrees, and that Machokes can like bench press a mountain. But
Yeah, those are definitely overactive kids.
I don't think that I think the ghost types land firmly in the area of no, we're not kidding, guys. These things will literally kill you for shits and giggles.
There's also the Hypno.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Litwick also
Yeah.
eats the life forces of people that
Okay.
view its light. Yeah.
We do not talk about Hypno.
Oh yeah, Hypno. Yeah, the child rapist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not talk about that.
Yeah. So we're just gonna move on. Yeah. So
Oh,
Ash
also,
just invites him onto
Mr.
a
Mime,
Pokemon
he doesn't
adventure.
actually do anything to children besides give them, horrible mental scars with his existence, but
Yeah. So yeah, that was a FNAF Pokemon story. Yeah. Kind of horrifying to be honest.
hey, Sneaky, let's hit the Left 4 Dead section.
No.
Oh, you know what? We actually haven't gone to the Left 4 Dead section in quite a long time.
Yeah,
I'm
that's why I was like, I'm
expecting-
thinking, I'm like,
For a
where
good
have we
reason.
not gone?
I'm
Also-
expecting a lot of horny posting, I'm gonna be honest.
Probably.
Yeah, probably fair.
Mr. Mime. Oh yeah, Mr. Mime. Yeah, so Mr. Mime's canon entry is that they cuck the mothers of people that wrong them. So they cuck the sons of with the mothers. Yeah.
It's, Mr. Mime's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it implies that like Pokemon human interactions in that particular manner is just
A thing.
I
a
mean,
thing
Diamond
that happens.
No, Diamond and Pearl directly said that Pokemon and humans used to marry each other and that they're distant ancestors.
Ah, yes, Pokemon Arceus fuel.
When did Diamond and Pearl say that? I don't want to know.
If you
Actually, I don't want to know.
No. If you go to the shipping town where you where if you get the
It's
event
the
shipping
for
town.
Got a museum or something.
yeah,
Something.
Yeah,
it's
oh,
in the
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's in the library. There's one of the books in the library of the shipping town. I think it's like the 7th or 8th gym, the metal gym with all the teleport pads.
Yep.
If you read one of the books in the library that's opened up, which that's actually more suspicious, by the way, is that the book you read this from is already opened up on the table to that specific section.
That's like when you find someone Googling what the ages of consent are. There might be a very good reason for it, but
It's like the person
doesn't
who was
look
here
good.
before me, clearly... I don't want to draw conclusions, but...
There's a few conclusions we need to draw here, and unfortunately, none of them are good.
yeah.
Yeah. You didn't know about Mr. Mime's Pokedex entry?
Sneaky, we're gonna need to pull up Mr. Mime, and I'm gonna need a reference for that thing from Diamond and Pearl, cause what the fuck?
Let's see, do invisibility wall, invisibility wall, pantomiming. It's adept at conning people. Blah, blah,
Let's see.
blah,
If interrupted while miming, it will
pantomiming.
double slap the offender.
Pantomiming, conning people.
Oh, whoa, that's a wild one.
Which one?
If it makes you think it's real, it is real.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, there's no cucking
Even going back to Red
here.
and Blue, it looks like Sneaky.
Yeah.
I think that's a
I
bit
think
too
you
on the
fell
nose
victim to
even for
Fanon.
Pokemon. Yeah. Sounds fanon to me.
Yeah, it might be Fanon then. I forget where it was. Like it was a video on like fucked up Pokemon entries. So I was like, oh okay.
Yeah, probably just Mimi. Okay, can you find that thing from Diamond and Pearl?
Oh yeah, the Diamond and Pearl one I know is absolutely canon.
Unfortunately.
Listen, Sneaky, I'm hanging on to a thin shred of hope that you're wrong.
Where's the book? Oh yes, here we go.
Random for years in the Japanese version. Ah, okay, great. It's Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Yeah.
Library.
The English translation said. The translation from Japanese is, there was once Pokemon that married people, there was once people who married Pokemon, this was a normal thing because long ago people and Pokemon were the same.
I see.
Yeah. Because, Japan.
Japan is a place.
Now, I'm
going
gonna search this one off screen just to make sure I'm not being crazy or something about the Mr. Mime thing.
I feel like that was Fanon that started popping up after the Sun and Moon version of the Sun and Moon anime version came out.
Yeah, I think that was, yeah. So Mr. Mime is Ash's father. Okay, blah blah blah. Oh yes, that weird moment in Aloha where Mr. Mime touches the inner thigh of his mother. Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
crave death.
Also, I like how on this website I'm reading, it's like, this is the crazy theories that fans have about Pokemon, and it's just the Pokemon War is the reason why there's so few adults, and like, that's not a crazy theory, that's Lieutenant
confirmed.
Surge literally says that. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
he's talking
fucking
about-
people. Turns out when you have a global war with literal walking, living super weapons involved, people die. A lot of people die. Like, wasn't that also the canon behind Ore or something? Like, so many people died that, like, Ore just kind of fell to shit?
What fell to shit? Sorry?
Ore, Pokemon Stadium? Was
I
it
don't know.
Pokemon
Oh.
Stadium? Pokemon XD Darkness or whatever? Remember that shit?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So, Pokemon's definitely not post-apocalyptic, but I don't know.
Also, they're including this other one. Legendary beasts were once evolutions. Suicune, Raikou, and Entei. It's like, no, that's canon. That's literally canon. That's not a wild theory. Literally 3 evolutions died in the tower when the tower burned down, and they got brought back by fucking Ho-Oh. Pokemon Resurrection. That's... Okay, this is a wild theory. Why is this in the same section as these other theories? Wild theory number 3. Pikachu is Ash's father.
What?
What?
They clearly just saw the Ryan Reynolds movie and thought it was fun to think that.
The quote-unquote proof behind this theory that Ash's father is soul-trapped in the body of Pikachu because of Detective Pikachu, the movie.
Yeah. No.
That
was it. I gotta say,
not
Detective
canon.
Pikachu was a surprisingly inoffensive movie. Like, it wasn't great,
Yeah.
but it's not bad either. Like, I saw it in theaters. I got some Pokemon cards out of it. It's okay.
The Galar region in-game has a population of only 727 people. You can't really fit that many people in the game, obviously.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, actually, that's like using the logic of World of Warcraft to be like, oh, well, only like 10 grunts ran in this direction, so the battle was like very small and the armies are all very small. It's like, no, like...
There's a total of 43 people living in Orgrimmar, and all of them are skill trainers.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but it's a game. You can't like fit the entire population of an actual country into your game if you want your game to run. That's just how it is.
Unless you're playing Hearts of Iron, but in which case it doesn't really matter.
At that point,
well, that's
you
because
just
the
recruit
population's
Literally
about
just
to be 7
numbers.
anyway.
Yeah, it's just numbers.
True.
So anyway, some Left 4 Dead fan fiction. I'm worried by this story that doesn't have a title. This worries me.
Yeah.
At least it's not Love on the Reich.
What the fuck is this? So no title by Hidden Wordsmith. It's been 3 weeks after the... Wait, did he double post this?
Yeah, I think it did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, there are different lengths on
This
the
is
word count.
weird, yeah. And like,
What?
this one has characters marks down. Hoi 4 players need to go take a shower.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, Arn's pretty smelly. It's how they pickle fish over there.
I haven't played Hearts of Iron in 3 months now.
You used to, and you were
Yeah.
very sweaty about it.
I'm a recovering addict.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fair.
just like
I
you
just
and
found
Double
out that they
Tap,
gave
except
that
for
as a
recovering.
number for the population as odd as fuck. I mean, it's whatever, man. It's been 3 weeks after the green flu hit. The survivors end up in swamp after soft plane crash. I'm not sure you could describe any plane crash as soft, but that's just me.
I mean, I guess it depends on where you land.
We only lightly totaled the plane. Now, what would happen if they found little girl locked in a closet for 3 weeks?
The answer is we stopped reading this story, I think.
I think that's the correct answer, yeah.
Quote, cut the cussing, we have little girl in hand, quote, yeah, no, check this out. Censored. Nick gets shot, asterisk. This story
I
is
mean, Nick
inspired
getting
by
shot
movie
is
Alia.
consistent.
There's a zombie on Bill.
Nick getting shot is pretty much consistent with every single lobby I've ever been in.
Yeah, also Bill. Don't
Why
judge
do
a
people
book.
shoot Bill?
Because there's a zombie on Bill.
Zombie on Bill.
Oh, fucking goddamn it.
Don't judge
That's
a
an
book
inside
by
joke
its
that is
cover.
never going to die.
That's a
I fucking
very
walked right into it,
old
too.
inside joke. That's like, ooh, that's older than a decade now, Max. We're in the year 2022. That's older than a decade. That's a 12-year-old joke.
Oh God, it is.
That's depressing.
Amazing.
Jenny, a 17-year-old from Colorado, got separated from her family under the evacuation of her city in Denver, Colorado. Every day is a struggle to survive, with her only companion named Cody and a strangely mutated hunter at her side.
I beg your pardon.
Okay. What is with the horny on Hunter?
Because he's got a hoodie on. That's literally it, probably.
I don't understand.
What will they encounter on their journey?
I guess it's someone's version of the witch.
Honestly, it's the most humanoid version of the infected that isn't a common infected. Because you got your witches and your hunters, and they're the most human looking. Because the smoker is just like a walking cancer ball. The boomer is
Average American.
well, yeah, the average American, but replace all their insides with highly sticky, smelly fluid. So your average American.
Explosive fluid? Yeah.
Impressive, you average Norwegian man.
Average Norwegian man
Nah.
they'd just be no. See, Norway is actually a little bit screwed if a zombie apocalypse ever happened.
Nah, we're good. Honestly, just wait for winter.
Oh yeah,
We're good.
yeah,
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's fair.
that's fair.
the
yeah.
first winter, it's over. Same for Alaska, I guess. Parts of
Yeah,
Canada.
but then you have a bunch of zombie Vikings rising up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
You
no longer
act
my
like-
problem, is it?
Well,
You
that's
act
right.
everyone
like
else's
people
problem.
around here haven't dealt with that already.
The Survivor's Guide to Surviving the Infection. No, that's got to be an old story. Oh God, yep, that's what.
The writing. That sounds familiar.
How old we talking?
Hey Max,
2011.
it's actually as old as your story.
Oh no.
Yeah. And they've managed to write a whopping 90k words in the past 11 years. You know what?
God.
At least we're not that bad. You
Yeah,
can say a
Sneaky.
lot about us and our writing speed, but we're not that bad.
It gets worse. He has pronouns in bio.
He also is writing a
dear.
Smoker times OC story.
Yeah, well, he also has fakes on AO3, which are more spicy. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Why?
Because death.
Yeah.
Because
I think I actually remember reading this one. Hi, I'm Kel. I go by he, him pronouns. Why? Oh, love you bunches. God, I've only ever seen that on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed prototype
surprised me.
crossover. Oh God, why is it always these types? Why is it always these types? Assassin's Creed prototype crossover. It's a gay fic between Alex Mercer and Desmond.
Of course it is.
Hey, at least Desmond might finally be useful for something.
Another Desmond Alex Mercer fic. Another Desmond Alex Mercer fic. Another Desmond Alex Mercer fic. Oh hey, Desmond times Lucy fic. This is shocking. And then we have Malik times Altair, of course. Gotta fit that gay shit in there, don't you? Proto pigs.
6.
What? Proto pigs. Blue is the color of love. What?
I beg your pardon.
What have you discovered?
This guy is trying to be really philosophical with his gay smut.
Yeah.
I would like to put this out there to all smut authors.
Yeah.
Please don't try to be philosophical.
Yeah. Just smut authors in general. I'm okay
like
with
I said,
smut authors in general. Just
all of them.
Yeah. I thought you said gay smut. I was like, yeah, just
Nope.
smut
I
authors in
specifically
general.
said all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Oh
Stop
no. Oh no. Scars. I originally wrote this story called Scars on DeviantArt back in 2011.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh
Wait,
dear.
For personal reasons, I have removed myself from the site, as all work I did for the Left 4 Dead 2 fandom. I have chosen to re-upload all work in place to simulate its original wreaths. Enjoy. Oh no.
Okay then.
Nick Times Rochelle is the main focus for this story, rated M for its excessive sexual content. Okay.
Then maybe don't include that content.
Yeah,
I have a
maybe.
message
What if?
for all
Crazy
smut writers.
idea.
Yeah.
You just
One
didn't do
day you
this.
will have to answer for your sins,
Yeah.
and God may not be so merciful.
Yeah. Left
God
4
shall
Dead
never be
No Way
merciful
Back.
upon you.
The green flu pandemic has engulfed the city of Fairfield, Philadelphia, turning the infected into monstrous beings that attack everyone on sight. Now, a young OC must survive the apocalypse he's found himself in, miraculously stumbling into the canon group.
No,
Yes.
no.
Okay,
not
well,
Philadelphia.
yeah, this is actually treading into stuff we've already covered, so.
Yep.
This section
Excellent.
is pretty thoroughly dead. Pokemon Sapphire is starting to hit different.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Hey,
Let's go back
listen,
to the
there's a
Pokemon
reason
section.
Pokemon Following You was the most requested feature.
We're just gonna move on from that one.
Thank
you. What if guess this one? No one cares. Deimos times Arceus.
Okay, but why though?
What? What the fuck is this thumbnail? Oh my god.
What do we got?
God,
That's a
motherfucking
thumbnail.
That sure is an
That's
image.
a thumbnail. That's a human Arceus.
Good fucking god.
Yeah,
That is.
Why?
Yikes. I mean, props on actually drawing a cover picture, I guess, but you shouldn't have. It should be clarified that this story will have yaoi. Excellent. And an MA category. Well,
yeah, here we go.
then.
If anyone ever wanted a better picture of this gay shit.
Yeah, Sneaky reported for mature adult.
We're reported for what?
Mature adult content.
Oh.
He admits it in the fucking author's note.
Oh, cease.
I have never
Hey, does
found...
that mean it actually worked? The button works? It
love
exists?
this. No.
Yeah.
Maybe. I love that this author just straight out admits it. Hello. This is a very unusual ship in this story. It's so rare. There's no images of it. I have not found a single fanfic for it. I can't fathom why. Gee. I wonder.
I wonder.
It's my turn to be the first to make a fanfic for this ship. Hey guys, have you ever considered like turning down the horny by like 99%? Please. This story was previously written in comic by hand.
Good fucking god, wait.
I posted it all on DeviantArt. Of course you did.
That explains the horny. That explains the horny.
Let's upload a Spanish version of that story as well.
There's a Spanish version, of course, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
All Pokemon will be able to speak human languages. The story is a what if based on what... Oh, God. This story... blah, blah. Right, so where's the author's note about it being banned?
Like in the lowest line of the intro author's note.
What do you mean lowest line of the intro's author note?
Second to last line of the intro author's note.
Clean it should be clarified this story will have gay sex, and it's in the mature adult category since there'll be sexual scenes. Fair enough! MA is not a category on FFN. Reported. I wholeheartedly encourage everyone to report this story as it does not follow the site's rules. And I can do that as part of Twitch TOS because this is illegal content. Let's see. Rating violence explicit adult content.
Yep.
Gay sex between two adults. Author says it will be detailed.
Apparently, we just have to start chanting for Pedro if we need something clipped.
Oh yeah?
Oh no. The fart guy is back.
Just fucking.
No, please.
Just
No.
clap. No.
2 stories below this one.
Please, no.
No, he's not.
No, shut up.
Pokemon the farting don't farty. Oh god, I want to die.
Look, we were
Well, he
clearly we
is-
need to stop talking about the cursed website. Every single time we talk about it, we get that shit.
It's too late. No, sir.
It's already
This isn't fanon. Yeah, that's right, Tension. This isn't fanon. That Mr. Mime, Mr. Mime is hitting that.
You'd be hitting different.
There's way less delay watching this
provocation.
show on PC than mobile. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Ooh, wow, hey guys, did you know an Ethernet connection's faster than my phone's mobile data in Brazil? Boom.
It's almost like, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be.
You're right. Oh god, can I
Imagine
just
that.
ban? Can I get like an app? Can I get like an addition to fanfiction.net so I can just ban authors from my viewing pleasure?
God, I wish.
I don't care about banning you from this from the site. I just need to never
You know
see
what?
you.
I'm gonna send an email to the owner of fanfiction.net and say, hey, make me an admin. I promise to only purge the fetish work. I will make no calls on anything else. My only job is I will purge the fetish work. I'll even do it for fucking free.
I feel like you'd get a lot of questions as to why, but you know what? He might say yes. Go for it, dude. Fuck it.
I will purge this site in the Emperor's Flame.
Sneaky goes full witch hunter.
He only wishes he could.
It's the same Wi-Fi. Using the app on mobile has a 30-second delay built into it. Oh well, that's your problem. The Boy
That is
with
indeed a you
Lucario by Armor Shipping Cannon. Well, this person really loves Pokemon. Cringe. Total Illusion Island, where they try and remake Total Drama Island. Okay, very cringe. Let's see. Advancing Through the Ages. Ash and May have secretly loved each other since they met. Wasn't Ash like 16 and May like 10? Like, canonically, like timeline-wise, like I know they reset Ash's age with each season, but like timeline-wise, because they did make it canon. Like it's not an actual reset every time a new season starts, because there's several episodes where Ash actually goes home in other seasons, and like all of his medals and gym badges are displayed from previous seasons, which means that time isn't being reset. He's not starting the journey over. It's just like. I guess he just doesn't eat food or something because he doesn't fucking grow. But
I mean, I think it's just a 1 year time span. Apparently, May was like 15 or something.
No, it's not a 1 year time span. Each league actually canonically takes place over the course of the year.
Oh,
Sneaky, I will come over there and slap you.
how fucking old is Ash?
Do it.
Then?
Ash, like now, there's been what? How many seasons of Pokemon?
Listen, I hope we get. Listen, all I gotta
Too
say is
many.
if you get that
Okay,
slap
well, like
in there,
there's
get it up
what?
and good on the mic.
No, like how many generations is it? Wait, Gen 8 now?
Gen 9 is coming,
I-
so yeah.
And then orange
Oh yeah,
counts.
Gen 9 is
So,
Gen
yeah,
9 is a
Ash,
thing.
Ash at this point canonically would be around 20-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about the average age of everyone who actually plays Pokemon.
I mean, you're not wrong.
True.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Ash and Aurea? Who the fuck is Aurea?
It's a very good question. I don't know.
But there's one problem. Ash was 2 years older than May.
That's
This is how you know this is written by a child. Because they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, they were totally hot for each other, but they were 2 years apart. And me, as a 27-year-old, looking at my mother, who's currently married to someone who's 15 years apart from her, I'm just like, yeah, 2 years ain't that big of a deal, man.
Yeah.
2 years
You,
ain't
look,
that big of a deal.
sometimes you just take what the world gives you.
My Ralts finally learned confusion. Congratulations. Yeah,
good. Let's hope
he's
your Ralts
currently...
doesn't confuse you.
Yeah.
Be careful with
stop
that,
that.
Ralts, though. Yeah,
Stop
Oh,
that.
what? Nose?
You're right.
You know exactly what I'm
exists?
saying. You stop.
Oh, thank you.
What?
Yeah. You're welcome, Sneaky.
Absolute god tier. I like
Yeah.
the top
Just give
comment.
'em.
Thank you so much. I want to ban several authors for having really weird fetish fics that are spammed all by one guy. I think we know who he's talking about.
Oh my god, did you actually get a yes? You were a fucking admin
No,
now?
it's just already existing.
No. There's an existing block tool that you can use
Yeah,
to
there's
hide
already
authors.
a tool that blocks people, but the top comment on this post is, "Thank you so much for making this tool. There is this one author who spams weird fetish fics, and it's all by one guy, and I think I know the author he's talking about."
Potentially.
We
Yeah.
think we have a reasonable guess at this point.
Meme magic at work, boys. It
Yeah,
all
for
comes together.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised he fucking replied that quickly to your fucking request.
Yeah, no, hell no, man. Why would
It'd be
they ever
funny as
reply?
shit.
That would be hilarious, but no.
I mean, I think Sneaky would have to send one first.
Yeah, I would have to send an email first. You think I've been like secretly typing in the background this whole time with my stealth keyboard? Because
You do type a lot whenever you're
Dude,
supposed to be doing something.
Yeah, can you hear that? Can you hear that? This is me stealth typing.
Yeah, we can.
My clickety clack keyboard ain't fucking sneaking anything past that one.
Yeah.
A
I have
brand
to hear
new
that keyboard
Ash
every single time Sneaky
by
respawns.
Ashton Richard Ketchum. A brand new story featuring a brand new Ash on his brand new journey through Kanto. Wow, riveting.
Cringe.
Great.
Why? 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 Why is the front page so fucking horny?
Pokemon
This
fans.
is Pokemon.
Sensual
Yeah.
Mystery Dungeon by Explicit
Oh.
Illusion.
That's
Waking
great.
up in a world inhabited by only Pokemon.
I request death.
But the Sensual Mystery Dungeon, man!
Hey, Sneaky, we finally hit 10 viewers again.
My,
Of
my
course,
little
we got
brother
it
is
on
currently
this.
dying on the ground.
Excellent. Finally, we are ending another one of Sneaky's line.
Excellent.
There is nothing you can give me that will make me stop.
He's a sociopath.
Actually, you can get him to skip any particular story for
No,
a
you
low
can't
payment
tell
of
him about the
$5.
money option.
What, Sneaky? You'd be extorting your own family. Isn't that the most Jersey thing to do?
Yes, but then my stepmother would find out.
Extort her too.
I would love to do that. I honestly would love to do that. There's a
God.
funny story I have though about that. So basically, my stepsister bought chickens, and then realized that she doesn't like taking care of chickens. Yeah. And so my stepmother wants me to start taking care of the chickens, and I was just like, where's Potato when you need them? I know, right? So my stepmother wants me to start taking care of the chickens, and I just told my father, I was like, look, man, farmhand is a legal job. And if you want me to start taking care of another animal's shit that I didn't pay or buy for, you're gonna have to start paying me. Because I'm not gonna clean up and change the hay of chickens if I'm not being paid.
Yeah.
That's not happening. They're her chickens. She can take care of them. Anyway, waking up in a world inhabited by only Pokemon, a human-turned Eevee sets out on a journey to recover his lost memories and find out why he's here. The only problem, if you can really call it a problem, is that all of the Pokemon are sex-crazed and he'll have to fuck his way through it all. 3 chapters, 14,000 words, 28 favorites.
Of course.
28 too many.
Yes, 28, far too many. Let's see, is there anything else good in here? Anything else good in here? Come on, there's got to be something we can make fun of and read.
The keyword being read.
Yeah, read. The keyword there is being read.
Is there any Pokemon DMC?
Devil May Cry Pokemon crossovers?
Well, there's surely
Yes.
1 or 2 at least.
Devil. Deus Ex.
Oh, I see it. Along with Devil is a part-timer.
Oh god.
Detective Conan. Run Rabbit Run. A minor spoiler for DMC 5. Written in the year 2020. Okay, interesting. The Demon King, a creature that craved power and nothing else. Yet what would happen when a human unlike any other decides to open his perspectives and maybe help him find his own justice? Featuring the Demon King, Incineroar, and an OC. With the by Sonic Ashura. OC, do not steal. No, Jerry. He fucks constantly. I'm the coolest.
Oh boy.
This profile pic.
I am drinking more.
I am absolutely drinking more.
I wish for drinking. Please offer me drinks. I require them. Unfortunate perish.
Get your own.
I have to know. Does he have a character profile? Yeah. No, he doesn't.
No,
I have a Tumblr account and a Wattpad account. Oh god, of course you do.
God.
I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, okay. Alright, so anyway, let's go to the Ruby section. I'm done with the Pokemon section. There's too much horny here. There is unfortunately more horny than I feel like dealing with.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Ruby?
Is it under anime?
Wouldn't it be under anime?
Yeah, it's anime or web show.
I hate it, but it is.
Okay, so we got Team Possum. Before there was Team Ruby, there was Team Possum, or Prism. A group of different people, as opposed to a group of clones.
Yes.
Who were brought together at Beacon Academy to become future huntsmen and huntresses to protect humanity from grim and criminal organizations. What? It all starts with a mercenary criminal with a mysterious past.
What?
Fucking cringe. Holy shit.
Ruby section.
Ruby section, yeah.
I have Krung. Fucking past tense of cringe.
A generic fanfic. This is a generic fanfic, and I don't have to explain it. Read the story. See if you like it. No.
Yeah.
Can
I say no? Is that an option?
Nope.
Yang's
Unfortunately,
mom
no.
has it going on. Shameless smut. John times Raven.
Why?
I don't know.
Because people are horny on main.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are horny on main. It's a pretty good
Sneaky
answer.
thought there was gonna be less horny here, but
Oh no.
He's sure
Yeah,
horny.
no.
guys.
No, don't send me a Toho story. No. Oh
No.
god. Okay,
No.
fine. It's a Toho OC. Let's go.
Gray, brace yourself.
All I know is pain.
So we got name Pit Typhon.
Good fucking god.
Age
For what
29. Gender male. Race human. Height 5'4". Fucking manlet.
Good god.
Weight 130
He
pounds.
is a
That's like
manlet.
wait. 130 pounds. That's a bit much for 5'4", isn't it?
Yeah, that's a pretty thick boy.
That is almost as much as me. And that's 8 inches lower than me.
Yeah. So we got.
Thick ass boy.
Okay, here we go. So we got 5'4" and 139 pounds. Puts us at around 238. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, 5. Okay, yeah, so that's actually within the safe range apparently. So fair enough. All right, so this person isn't fat.
You
which-
put 139 instead of 129.
Oh, you're right, but I mean 129 is still within the range. It's like 120 to 144.
Yeah.
General appearance. He is tall and slim in appearance. His skin is smooth and pale.
Wait, what? Hang up the fuck.
What?
Hold up, what?
What?
Tall and slim.
Tall, slim.
5'4".
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, 5'4" tall. Yeah, he's 5'4" tall, guys.
Mm.
Behold, the king of manlets.
He's the manlet king. He's 5 tall.
Mm.
being a manlets.
He's tall, slim at 5'4", yes. He's tall, slim at 5'4" at almost overweight, yes.
Amazing.
They pointed upon him and said to
No,
him,
he's
Behold,
pale.
the
He's
king
not
of
Asian.
manlets.
He's not Asian, he's pale. While his eyes are a light blood red that change to full blood red when he uses his power. His hair is a mix of red and brown, like his clothing, which is also a mix of red and brown, which he uses to his advantage in the dark.
Due to the blood
Red
stains.
and brown is stealthy and no. It's actually
Either blood
not.
stains or shit stains, or both. Not sure. Which
Clothing.
one.
He wears
Not
a
even on
brown cloak.
fanfiction.net. What the fuck?
What?
This is just a fucking
Yeah, it's an
Google
OC.
document.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
He wears a. This is an OC from my little brother's RP Discord. He wears a brown cloak that is red like blood. He also wears black chains.
Why?
This is some. I'm feeling the sins crawling up on this person's back. Jesus.
That
I am
connects
hereby
the back part of
issuing
his
a
cloak
fatwa
and loop
against
around
all
the front.
14-year-olds.
He wears armor over his legs that doesn't cover all of his legs, but covers his waist to his knees. Why?
Why wouldn't you cover your shins?
Yeah, like, do you know how breakable your shins are? They're really fucking breakable.
Look, if soccer players can break their shins by literally just having a bunch of people kick them in it, I think you have a problem.
Yeah. Under that, he wears samurai robes. Fucking kiss me.
Did he really just call it that?
Yeah.
The power of the samurai! How much you want to bet this man unironically says folded 1,000 times?
His
That's
power's
how
name
much money?
is
How much money we want to put on it?
Shadowforge.
Does anyone want to bet money on it?
No.
No, but
His
that's a scam.
power's name is Shadow Forge. Shadow Forge is an ability that allows its user to forge one or another of themselves a weapon from their own shadows, and they may use weapon in battle. He has most factoring night during solar eclipse. What?
I beg your
During
pardon?
solar eclipse, the blades will be maximum power. Yeah, okay, yeah, solar eclipses. Those happen like once, what, every 5 years or some shit?
Yeah.
Maximum power. Their attacks will be devastating, but along with consequences. For using it, solar eclipse will cost users sanity, which will only take in throughout solar eclipse in phase.
Every 18 months is a solar eclipse.
Alright, that's still like...
Yeah, well,
it's like-
somewhere.
So, like, what?
depends
For
on-
10 minutes, once
do you
in a
have to
certain
be
spot
there?
of the world, you have the ultimate power? It's like, okay, buddy.
Right.
All right, bro. If that's the way you want to go around it, I guess.
It's only a
The guy
small
is 20, yeah,
portion.
air quotes 20, yeah. He's tall, slim, at overweight, and 5'4", okay? Tall, slim. The guy who wrote it's probably 13. Maybe. Yeah. I would say
14 at
that.
most.
Yeah, 13, 14, yeah. The user can form weaknesses. The user can form their weapons, but they will not be as strong as they used to be at night.
What?
What?
The sun takes away the Shadow Forge power. Only other chance would have gaining only half their power was if he was fighting in shadows, but the plate would be weaker. What?
Nani?
And weaker, and with the amount of time they are used in some, their power is deplete. The shadow blade will vanish, but before they disappear, they will fade in and out. Is their first warning sign they about to go away? End quote. What? Huh?
This makes no sense.
Yeah. This is definitely a 13-year-old. How many pages of this are there? 9 pages. Holy shit.
Oh, good fucking god. I took the
Imagine
scroll
writing
mark.
9 pages
Lord.
of this absolute god trash. like,
Lord.
imagine sitting there, writing 9 pages of backstory for a character, but you can't even literally explain their power. He sends me clips and I refuse to watch any of his streams, yeah. The clip I sent him was me falling out of my chair from being drunk.
I'm surprised he didn't watch that. If I fucking knew some of my family was going to be falling out of a chair drunk, I'd fucking laugh my ass off at it.
Oh, my whole family found it was hilarious, yeah.
I was going to say.
Definitely
He
one of the better
likes
clips
messing
come out
with
of this.
extremely dangerous people, going on midnight strolls and drinking. He likes to meet new people he has not met yet.
Yeah, this is definitely written by a fucking...
This is absolutely a 13-year-old.
Yeah, because no one wants to go drinking alone at night. That is depressing.
He
It's not
mostly
fun.
likes to meet new people he has not met yet, implying that there's new people he has met.
That is...
Casually breaks causality.
For anyone
Yeah.
who ever considers going alone and going drinking, please don't. No. It is depressing.
Yeah.
You go
Yeah.
out to drink with family, you go out to drink with your friends, or you stay at home and be online and drink with your friends, but
I mean,
The only time you
that's
don't go
just
out
the modern
alone is
era,
when you're
man.
sick.
Yeah, drinking with your friends while online, that's just the modern era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
why I'm here,
Well-
no, sir.
yeah, I know that's why you're here.
Cheers, I'll drink to that.
I can drink to that.
Cheers, bro. My alcoholism will drink to that.
Dislikes when his opponents don't take him seriously or when he's called a monster by people. He also dislikes being patient, being in the sunlight, and being inside when it's raining.
Why did I come back to a character bio?
Pretty much.
He was cast aside for black magic, and he learned how to wield the Shadow Forge. When Pitt was 10, his parents died in a fire caused by an angry mob. And then his sister was lynched by the townsfolk. This caused Pitt to be the only living member of the Typhon family. So he went against Sokyo.
Why the fuck would you go to get Sokyo?
Sneaky, fun fact, he retcons this. Oh.
Oh no! Oh
What do you mean he
no!
retcons this?
Oh no.
Oh no!
That fuck is a voice claim. Who the hell is Drew Combs?
What?
Also, this is just classic edgy personality, and I hate it. Personality. He's a jokester, but really loyal and adventurous, and he's troublesome. But when he's bored, he keeps to himself with books. And when he's friendly, he likes people, and he likes to make jokes in combat, but he's really edgy. And he's loyal, adventurous, and friendly, and heroic, and playful, and he hates being called a monster by everyone around him.
Maybe you should stop acting like a monster then, sir.
Death.
Relationships. None. Bolded. All capital. I feel like there's a statement being made here.
I think the statement is, don't talk to this person.
Yeah.
Don't talk to this person at this time of night because it's clearly past their bedtime.
Spell cards. He has not learned to master any spells, but he has taken it upon himself to write down what he has learned so far in a notebook.
No cards? No
cards.
bitches?
No spell cards?
Oh, okay, you know
Grace?
what? You know what, actually, I'll give credit where it's due. These are nice fantasy swords.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, yeah, they're forged out of shadow or some cringy shit, but, you know,
The designs aren't offensive like the last one.
they're not like Blake.
Yeah. They're pretty mall ninja, but not offensive.
Oh, yeah, very
so...
mall ninja, but I mean, there's a reason why mall ninja exists, you know?
Yeah, for 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, he did. Oh no, he didn't make them.
Oh, he didn't make them, he found them. His relationship status has stayed that way. No maiden. Okay, what you need to do is you need to say next time to him, no maidens.
No relationships?
He didn't make them
no
weapons.
relationships?
Okay, I mean, like, okay, look. So even if he didn't make them, at least he was being tame in his weapons. Like there's no. I'm gonna go. Hold on, I'm gonna go do that to him now. Excellent.
Based.
You know, at least I'm gonna find that text you sent me earlier. The previous one we covered from these guys.
Oh lord.
Remember this? Remember, like, at least, you know, at least he's tame. I say tame. Oh wait, no, that's the shipping list. Never mind. Whoopsies. Yeah, here we go. At least he's tame in them, and it's not like whatever the fuck this thing is. this dual-bladed ski mallet flamethrower just come on site.
It looks like a fucking 40k
Yes,
weapon.
of course, the 100-degree Celsius flamethrower.
The 100-degree Celsius flamethrower, yeah.
Ah, yes,
Literally
the
boiling
salamander.
water.
It's the salamander's favorite weapon, Sneaky.
The one that won't burn anything.
Yeah, the one that won't burn anything?
Yeah,
No, see, it's great at
ignite
barbecues
wood.
because you just cook up some nice orc barbecue.
No, dude, like,
That's not enough to cook anything.
yeah, dude, that's like,
Yeah. 100 Celsius won't even fucking cook a pizza, my guy.
yeah, like 100 Celsius, dude. That's enough to get
I mean-
water to boil. Like,
Yeah,
you can
noodles,
cook
I
some
guess.
fucking pasta with this, but
Yeah,
he's a hit
pasta
with the
noodles,
Italians, but
something.
ain't much more than that. Oh, he texted me
Exactly.
a picture. He said no maidens.
Oh no!
Based.
You've been no maidens. What will you do,
He
Sneaky?
delivers.
Oh yeah, Rob just sent me a text message as well. Man, you're right. All I see now is offlaners and soft supports trying to be the carry.
Yup. Tell him, ask him if he enjoys hell.
It's funny you say that, because I literally just sent that to him. I said, welcome to hell.
Fucking, welcome to hell, welcome to hell, welcome to hell, welcome to hell. We hope you enjoy your stay. Good shit.
Oh god. Yeah, so we got general edgy weapons. Okay, Toho some shit. Okay, okay, yeah, Avenger Fallen Phase 2, very cool, yeah, so battle theme, limit burst theme, rampage theme.
Oh god. No.
Battle theme.
When he's out
Really?
reading or on walks during
You
the
gotta
night
open
theme.
those. Sneaky. Hang on.
Okay, fine. I'll open this one. Oh, it's the Hollow Knight accordion nim. Okay. This one is
Which one's
greatest
accordion?
battle of all time. Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. Limit burst doesn't. Come up with
Rampage
anything. Okay.
theme.
Call me Asura, of course. Yeah. Yes.
Of course.
Good God.
Alias Monster King. I hate it when people call me a monster. Alias Monster King. Okay.
Birthday on Halloween. Of course.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, buddy. Oh god. Okay, let's try and find something that isn't. I was gonna say, hey, is that a core story? Oh boy, a core started a new story, Max.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Core started a new story.
Oh, Raise? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
Not good.
So it's my normal complaints with you at this point. He keeps doing everything from a perspective of Earth and not the perspective of horrible Death World.
Yeah.
Basic summary: Jean's semblance is now he can raise people from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
He does give it a time limit, like if they died within 4 hours, he can get them. Otherwise, they're gone.
Right.
But he opens
That
chapter
makes
2
sense.
with, so everyone in Ansel is like, Ansel is no longer a village. In this story, he's decided to make it I guess a mid-sized town.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden. And so they're all like, we're just gonna beat down the Ark household door, despite the fact that Nicholas Ark is still one of the more well-known huntsmen that would totally just eviscerate us if we hurt his family.
Right, right.
That's one of those things where it's like,
Wait,
if this was
he's
Earth-
seriously going with the whole lynch mob thing?
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, he goes with a quick mob at the start of the story. It's like, okay, this is a death world in what is supposed to be a small village, not a town. And they're attacking what is presumably the head huntsman of their village.
Right, right. So this is my other
This
question.
would
now.
not normally happen in a death
like,
world.
when he raises people, are they just raised, or do they just come back to life and they're like, that's it? Or is it like they're under his control or something?
No, they come back to life and that's it. They're back. They remember their death too, and like, wow, that sucked. Thanks.
Thanks,
So-
asshole.
Wait, so then why would you lynch this guy? Like, even under Earth logic, if someone
So-
woke up one day with the power to just resurrect people,
Yeah,
they would
okay,
be
so
like
the
an
lynch
instant
mob.
billionaire.
Oh no, the lynch mob
Yeah, or
is
stuck
because
in a
he's not
black site forever.
he's
I
not
mean,
going
that
out
too.
and healing their loved ones right now. Also, just for good measure, he decides to have the mob kill Juniper and he decides to use Juniper as the plot device for like, see, the mob sees him do it. The way he handles it doesn't make sense to me, is the big issue.
You know what? Fine. Well, fuck it. You know, we can always count on some grammar and spelling from Core. So I mean, this is at least going to be coherent. No real luck on it being consistent, but
good.
coherency. I mean, at least is a plus, I suppose. Question mark.
I mean, it's better than the usual, but does it
Yeah.
have to be? Question mark.
Yeah, it's funny too because
Yeah, I know you
Core's
sent me a
recently
screenshot, yeah.
mentioned he's not happy with his quality. I'm just like, if you went back to 2 updates a week, I think you'd see a noticeable rise in quality.
The levels of this shit, yeah, dude. The dude's got his own fucking wiki now. I mean, to be fair, the dude's got how many Ruby stories that are all using the exact same plot at this point? Yeah, he's got Core Lateran's got around 25 stories because I mean he's got a fair couple of omakes in here now. Core Lateran's got a few dozen stories now where he uses the exact same names for all the characters and usually the exact same backgrounds depending on the story's background itself. So it makes sense for him to have his own wiki because they're all mostly completed stories too. So you got to keep in mind he's written several million words of Ruby fanfic at this point, using consistently the same characters because they're all centered around John and his family. So it makes sense for him to have a wiki to an extent because you just got to remember, okay, which Juniper is this one, basically, because he doesn't differentiate them, like ever. Let's see what we got here. So, Core's mom is unfortunately dying. It is what it is. He's in his 40s now. His mom's gonna be in around the 60s. I mean, that's just unfortunately the way things are once they hit that point. Is you start just having,
Health
body
problem
failure.
after health problem.
Yeah. Crossover writer, active writer, blah blah blah. Patreon. Yeah, he used to make around $4,000 on Patreon. He's lost a significant amount of that money.
To be fair, he does have a real day job, so I doubt he's hurting.
Oh no, obviously he's not hurting. He's the fucking head editor of a newspaper. Like he's not hurting for money at all. But
For him, I guess.
For Patreon wise, you can definitely tell audience reaction, like genuine audience reaction. And I'm not talking about the fan club audience reaction. I'm talking about general silent audience because the silent audience never says anything. The silent audience votes with their wallet. And when you're making $4,000 a month, and then you go down to making around $1,000 a month, the silent audience has spoken. Your quality has decreased.
Or you're not writing what people want to hear.
Well, I mean, mostly those are the same thing these days. Because he's got a very loud minority audience that has vocally supported him fervently for a very long time now. And unfortunately, there are also a bunch of retards who have no idea what quality is and wouldn't know quality if someone slapped him in the face with it. So, I mean, considering the fact that he started with one good turn and that somehow gained traction, and let me be real here, one good turn wasn't that good. It was an okay
I
story.
could have understood if it took off after Professor Arc.
Yeah, well, Professor Arc is where he really started gaining steam because One Good Turn had finished, and people were clicking on it because it was a completed story, and they saw he was writing a new one, so they're like, let me go read his completed story to see, where he's at. Because it wasn't his first story, keep in mind. One Good Turn was not his first story in the Ruby section. But it was the one that started to gain traction because it was okay. It was I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It was okay. Nothing exceptional, but it was definitely above average for the Ruby section. Which basically meant there was a major hit.
If One Good Turn wasn't his first story, I actually don't remember what it was.
He's either taken it down or it's let's see.
Pretty sure it's One Good Turn.
Oh, was it really One Good Turn? No, I think it was. Wasn't it Stress Relief? Was it really One Good Turn? I thought there was a story he had written before that. Let's search where published. Yeah, it was actually One Good Turn. Yeah, so I was right. But Professor Arc did come right after that. So yeah, One Good Turn was his first story, and as you can see, that got a significant following. But it was really Professor Arc that catapulted him to fame.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then you can see from there on out, 9,000 with Professor Arc, then it goes back down to 4,000, then 3,000, then 700. Well, that's a extension of Professor Oak. So it goes 4,000 to 3,000 to 1,600. And then Not This Time Fate was his second resurgence, because this was taking place during around the same time as Professor Arc. They was basically alternating between the two, and that got 10,000. And then Forged Destiny was his major undertaking, 1.1 million words. This dude literally wrote around 11, 12-ish books. I know he has book 16 or book 30 in his own organization or whatever it is. But effectively in terms of word count, not arc count, wrote literally 10 to 11 books. And then immediately afterwards drops back down to 3,000, then to 1,000. Then White Sheep was another major hit because it was a comedy story, and there's not too much good comedy. Then
Well, I was going to say, let's be clear. It was a comedy and actually somehow managed to be entertaining despite Core's normal writing style being pretty friggin' dry.
Honestly, it actually,
Well,
the comedy
his
worked
British,
out.
What do you expect?
What?
Atin was mentioning his writing was dry.
Yeah, he's British.
He's British.
Yeah.
That's why his comedy is also decent.
The reason why his comedy actually had a decent hit was because his whole chapter a day, episode a day sort of stylistic writing style, because of his time as an editor, actually worked in his favor this time, because effectively each chapter ended up being a skit that fed into other skits later on. And so it worked out quite well for him in that arena. In Kingdom Service was a little bit more serious, but still a fairly decent level of comedy going on in it. Again, you can see a major drop here. Service with a Smile was another well-done take on the coffee shop AU, so obviously 9,000 people. But then again, he moves on to other sections, he tries other things, 2,000, 4,000, 2,000. Then again, Relic of the Future, another major undertaking from him. Literally, holy shit, another 12 books. 9,000 follows and favorites. Unfortunately, Relic of the Future, according to Max, really went off the rails near the end, and I don't mean in a good way. Apparently, Salem is an eco-terrorist, and Ozpin's actually secretly the big bad.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I that one just went so stupid.
But honestly, the favorite count can almost be attributed to the same amount of word count going on in these stories, because almost 500,000 words, 9,000 favorites. Almost 1 million words, 7,000 favorites. 1 million words, 9,000 favorites. So some of the favorite count can unfortunately be attributed to just sheer size attracting people, rather than the content itself. Arcanum, again, massive drop in favorite account. Rabbit Among Wolves, it was more of a humor parody story making fun of the White Fang. I didn't like it myself. It really, really had some forced humor in there that was just like, why? There was a rape scene. Again,
of course there was.
It was played for laughs, though, and it's just like, why? That sounds like normal Ruby. Unfortunately, that is mostly the problem with his content as the years went on, because his early content took mostly from early Ruby, which, again, as we've said multiple times on this podcast, is that it had a good potential to it, and you could take it places that were interesting. And then later on, as the series went on, less good foundation came out of it. And Core is unfortunately one of those people who firmly believes in the godlike status of canon, and at the same time will write stuff completely AU of that canon, but still firmly hold to canon, like he's got a death grip and he's sinking on the Titanic. And so a lot of his later content tried to incorporate canon into his AU while also doing AU stuff, and it just never made much sense. It was just really haphazardly put in, and it made the stories actively worse as he tried to explain canon in his AU as canon changed. Wasn't there one fic that had a scene with him going anti-gun self-defense? Yes, yeah, he did in one story go anti-self-defense. Yes. Yeah, it was. Core's again. That's just him being British, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like these are his newest stories. I mean, say what you will about Core, and I'll say a lot about Core. I do say a lot about Core, but he does finish all of his stories, for good or ill.
He does finish every
Yeah.
story. It's actually pretty impressive.
So his current stories are Knight of Salem, Self-Made Man, Arc Royale, Eternal Crown, and Raise. Arc Royale is basically Fate Stay Night, but all of the characters are John from his various stories.
Yeah.
And it's, from what I heard, not good.
When your story is self-referential, like,
I mean,
to that degree,
Core can sort of get away with it because, again, he does complete all of his stories, and there is like multiple books backing each character. So him writing a series about all of these other series colliding is sort of okay. I mean, we've seen other authors try this, but usually a majority of their stories are dead or like only halfway completed. That doesn't mean it's okay. It just means that, you know, he's got more wiggle room in terms of acceptance, I guess. It's still cringe as all hell. Because basically what happens in this story is Ozpin and Salem each summon like 4 Johns. Yeah, Parcassius did it too, but Parcassius writes Fate Stay stories, so it's, you know.
Yeah, it's a.
Who cares? XD.
Yeah.
What do they get? They get like 6 or 7 Johns each, and then there's a bunch that are just randomly summoned throughout the world as well.
Yeah, something like that. It's just really fucking cringe. So then we got Eternal Crown, Salem 1, defeated and captured, Ozpin's driven into insanity, and then just stops resurrecting, I guess, question mark. For 1,000 years, Remnant lives under her rule as the Eternal Queen, shaped to her whims. John Arc is a young man suffering from nightmares of canon. I, too, would have nightmares if I... of canon, yes. Driven to fulfill a destiny that isn't his before a fractured mind of a broken man consumes him. So basically, Ozpin shows up and is like, I'm insane, and I'm now going to torture you into insanity by being insane.
I mean, to be fair, that does seem to be Ozpin's usual MO.
That's fair. So yeah, then
Miserable
finally we
little
got
Demi-lich.
Raise. Semblances are, and again, say what you will about Core, his summaries are actually quality summaries that I fully enjoy. He's got a very good handle on writing summaries, but again, that kind of just leads back to the fact that he's been doing this whole writing job as an actual job for the past 25 years. So, you know, experience, you know. But semblances are 1 in a million, a lottery of differing abilities and effects that can define a huntsman's career. John Arc always wished for one that was special, what marked him as unique. But he could never have predicted just how powerful his would be, just how difficult being unique truly is, and just how far the people of Remnant would go to control it. And
What is his freaking semblance here?
necromancy.
Yeah. Not quite. They get resurrected in.
His ability is true
chapters in, but-
resurrection. Okay, his
Yeah,
ability is
like,
true
there's
resurrection,
no
body
issue.
required. So, it's a drama hurt comfort story. It already has 1,300 favorites. Already has 383 reviews. Like I said, Core has a core following. Forgive the pun. Where they will just favorite anything he does. Doesn't matter the quality on it. Doesn't matter if it makes all much sense. Core's written it, so they follow and favorite it. Unfortunately, a lot of the people who were naysayers Because there was a lot of naysayers back in the day. I remember them because I was one of them. A lot of the people naysaying in his reviews, a lot of the people making active, constructive criticism, not just saying like, oh, this story sucks, but like genuinely pointing out plot holes, pointing out mistakes, pointing out odd character behavior by how Core had defined them previously. They've all gone. Just like with Can and Ruby, all of the people that didn't like the setting because of piling inconsistencies, they've just left. They've stopped trying to make comments. They've stopped trying to, open the eyes of people around them to being like, hey guys, this stuff isn't as good as you all are saying. Please stop over-exaggerating the quality of this. There is problems with this. We can like it, but there is problems we have to acknowledge. And those people are gone.
Ruby went down the shitter, just everyone left.
I mean, 4 did a
Everyone
very
looked
good
to Die
job
Hard.
of chasing people away. 5 brought decent number of people back, but the promises that 5 made, they just kept rain checking the audience on, and everyone more or less left after that. And some people came back for 6, and then 6 was 6.
They're going to say anything else on that.
Yeah, and then 7 was 7, and everyone left was just like, I'm basically just getting drunk with my friends to watch this now, which was us.
Yeah.
Speaking of a drink, I can drink to that.
Cheers, bro. I'll drink that.
Picking a new story isn't easy. I've had a lot of ideas in my head, but if you've read my other fics, you probably know I've been disappointed with my quality as of late. So, another thing of note, as Max has brought this up earlier, Core writes about a chapter a day. They're around 5,000 to 6,000 words-ish on average. And he posts them every day of the week. And so he basically juggles 5 to 7 stories because he alternates every other week on weekends, I believe it was. His other stories, his like side projects or whatever.
He alternates Tuesdays and Saturdays or some shit. I don't know. He does, but yeah, he does 5 uploads a week
So basically,
on top of his editing work and on top of the writing courses he gives to some members of Patreon.
On Patreon, he also has like several different tiers of writing courses that he'll give out. He also writes articles on Patreon for certain tiers as well. So he does a lot. He fucking chugs, and it is what it is. Gotta respect the game. But
I would personally say part of the quality drop is doing too much. Like maybe
he's absolutely doing too much. Yeah, I mean back in the day, his best stories were from back in the day when he only did 2 to 3 stories at a time. And Professor Arc itself was when he only did 1 story at a time. So
now that I've like forgotten everything about Professor Arc, I think I'm gonna go back because like I remember I got to a point where he cut it off halfway, and I was like, wow. And then it's like, oh, he resumed writing it again, and I went back and was like, damn, I remember nothing except that John's gonna bang Glinda.
I don't think that's no. I don't think that's Anyway, I've had lots of ideas, and I'm disappointed. What?
You don't think that's what?
I'm not gonna go there.
Okay.
I've been disappointed
That
with
was
my
the
quality.
direction the story was heading. I only read half of it.
I have ideas for this slot, ranging from Team Stronk Origins to a Cardin times John romance story. Those ideas are still knocking around, along with my SCP Library of Runia inspired idea. Cringe. In the end, though, I wanted to return to my roots and enjoy a not this time fate and one good turn style story, so I went with Risen. Okay. I'm not really sure if you want to say the words quality and one good turn in the same sentence, but you do you, I suppose. Oh, Glinda got canned as well? And not surprising.
From the show or the
voice
book,
actor.
or
yeah, the voice actor got canned.
I mean, we knew that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I probably drank myself to forgetting it. I know some people find seasons 1 through 3 boring, but I really hated everything past season 4. Season 4 and up, my bad. Yeah, so why do you keep including all of the garbage into your story core? All of my current fics are drawn away from beacon elements in AU stories or dodging beacon by being in different groups. So I think a story where John goes back to beacon is a fair enough change of pace. I'm hoping this will give me the time to develop relationships and plot like I used to back in One Good Turn and Not This Time Fate, and not have to worry about so much world building. Okay, you know what, I can... Yeah, as someone who was paid to try and write a Ruby story, yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. The world building for Ruby is a fucking pain in the ass, and it's just really time consuming.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Nexus.
That being said, you know, he still hasn't reviewed the chapter that I'm waiting to post for him. He still hasn't reviewed
Thanks, Nexus.
I like that you're still trying to honor your deal, and he's just not cooperating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, I also want to set up the AU elements beforehand, so I might as well get this chapter going before we even get close to Beacon. This title is almost certainly going to have been used somewhere before. I have real trouble coming up with titles. Some titles felt too RPG, and some felt too abstract or comedic. So that's ultimately going to be the problem when it comes to writing a book in the modern age, is there is so many people writing and publishing online now that someone somewhere is going to have used your story title, and honestly, the best you have is just not using something that's been used in porn.
That
As
is
Tim
very
Cast found
much
out.
the best thing.
Tim tried to start a business that used a porn name. Well, what was the was that porn game called, Arn? I know you looked at it.
Which one?
The one with turn-based RPG, romance elements, and
Sci-fi,
space
I think it
exploration.
was?
Yeah, it was a sci-fi one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
Oh, for a second I thought you were talking about a Fire Emblem knockoff game.
I was gonna say.
Listen. There was a man on a subreddit, on the
Subverse.
Fire Emblem subreddit, who
Oh, God.
tastefully.
Yeah, Subverse. Yes.
Yeah.
So Tim Pool tried to
that
start a
thing.
business called Subverse, and there was a porn
Yeah.
game called Subverse, and he asked the
That
porn
already
game,
existed.
Yeah, that already existed, and he asked the porn game to change their name because he had a business called Subverse, and they're like, no, we're not going to change our name. So he tried taking them to court, and he ended up wasting money on that one.
Yeah,
so he ended up
because
calling
they
it
were there
Timcast.
for. First of all, they were there first. Second of all,
Oh, but they didn't trademark their shit.
yeah, but
Yes.
it's about, right. The big thing is about brand confusion, right?
Yeah.
Like, right? Because the way it works is, as dumb as it is, a video game being called Scrolls. If Bethesda does have Elder Scrolls copyrighted, or more specifically, they have Elder and Scrolls copyrighted, right? Not the phrase, but the two separate words in the context of video games, which they shouldn't have. But
they
that's a
don't.
problem with the trademark office.
No. See, they have Elder Scrolls copyrighted. It was actually legally struck down, them saying they had the word Scrolls copyrighted.
No, I know. I'm just saying the reason
yeah.
they went after this guy was because they could make a reasonable argument that we have the Elder Scrolls. This is called Scrolls. If your game is shit, it can lead to brand confusion. And they had a leg to stand on. Right, the whole reason it was allowed to proceed in court was because there could have been an element of that. Could have been.
The only reason why I was allowed to proceed in court is because they had a lot of fucking money. They ultimately lost that lawsuit, but they were able to pressure the guy, as far as I was aware, to changing his name. I'm not sure if he did
Yes.
or not.
I don't know if he did.
They had enough money to make it unfinancially successful to keep the name Scrolls, effectively, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I do know that set off a wave of attempts from other people of trying to coin single words. Including, I think it was like Cardi B tried to like trademark the word muffin or some shit. It was really fucking dumb.
Like when Facebook tried to get away with face and book,
Yeah.
and thank God the court was like,
get the fuck out. Yeah.
No.
But that being said, you're gonna find someone who has done your name. Just do a general Google search of your name, of the name of the book or game or company you want to start. And if, your top search is, you know, some mom and pop shop 4 states away, you generally can be relatively safe having that name. Just try to make sure it's not a fucking porn name, because I remember there was another game that some company tried to launch, and like the name they chose happened to also be a porn name. It was either a movie or a game, and they changed the name really quickly, because when you ever searched on Google for that name, they just came up with the porn version.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause here's the spoiler, folks. You're never going to outcompete the porn.
Yeah,
on
you will
your
never
searches.
outcompete porn. Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, no.
Aura, John decided,
luck.
was amazing. He couldn't believe how different the world felt since his father unlocked it. It was one of those things you couldn't understand, but you also weren't sure how you'd ever gotten by without it, or missed it. There was a whole extra source of energy burning inside him, rushing about his body, so visceral and tangible, but he spent 15 years of his life never once knowing it existed. Well, that's because it wasn't in your body until then. If you have to unlock something in your fucking soul, so it extends into your body. Because keep in mind, normal people can't do feats of strength without aura. Because they don't have aura in them yet. So it's not latently in your body. It's not like, you know, it's not like, what's a good example here? It's not like you're a supernatural creature from the various Japanese fantasy stories that just secretly has this strength in them all along, but they've never been in a situation where they've needed to use it until now. And they just, when they finally use it, they're like, oh wow, I'm actually this strong, huh? You know, if this is literally a sealed power in someone that you have to awaken, they're not going to be benefiting from the sealed power. It's sealed.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
That's what the word
shocker.
means, huh?
Yeah,
Unless your name is
wild.
Naruto, and then you do sort of benefit from it anyway.
Well, that's specifically because the seal purposely had cracks in it.
True. We made the seal defective on
purpose. It's a feature, not a bug.
We
If
have made this seal
Jinchuriki
incorrectly
seals,
as a joke.
if Bethesda made Jinchuriki seals.
There's a prank, bro. Look, there's the camera.
It's $5.99 for the rest of your seal.
It'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
You want some dragon armor with that? That's $5.
That's a lot.
Does the dragon armor do anything? Nope. Okay.
It just looks cool.
That's a lot of nuts.
A Naruto gamer fic with Bethesda mechanics. Fun fact, several of those have been written, but if you're specifically talking about Bethesda bugs, no, none of those have been written yet. However, I will
Bethesda
chill here
features.
for a moment. We did not write a gamer story, but we did have a Hod Towered in our Ruby Skyrim crossover on our fanfiction profile.
Yeah, it was garbage.
It was great. I don't know what you're talking about. I was plastered when I wrote it. It can't be anything but amazing.
Have you read it?
No.
There's your answer.
Literally do not remember those words because God was I deep in the bottle when I wrote that story.
I remember asking you the next day, why did you guys write this? I don't know, I was drunk.
We were both so
I think-
fucking drunk. Holy shit.
And everything made sense.
Of course, everything makes more sense when you're drunk. Opening and closing his hand, he felt the energy rush up his arm to his wrist and then subside again. It didn't flow with muzzle movement per se, but his father explained it that sometimes helped early on to think of it like that way. Ultimately, his goal was to be able to push and pull wherever you wanted, to use it as a shield to protect and strengthen the body. John purposely let a little too much gather in his hand, and the excess caused a thin white film of visible light to form around his fist. So cool. A man cleared his throat. John gasped and cut off the flow of aura, spinning to face his father and hide his hand. Nicholas Ark stood with his one hand on his side. Man, you're really mentioning the word hand a lot.
And can I just say I want to take a second to appreciate John's one with a story with John's father not being a terrible human being.
Yes. Now that's typical with core stories, though. Nicholas Ark stood with one hand and oh yeah, hey guys, remember that story, the John Long, the dragon contractor, where his dad's like, "You've only contracted when there was you're something with his aura was like,
Oh,
I forget what it was.
kinda.
There was something off about his aura where it wasn't like perfectly arc or something like that, and so he was cast out of the family. And then like while he was crying, a bunch of dragons showed up or some shit, and were like, "Yo, man, we'll be your like contractor or something because you have the dragon summoning scroll or something." It was so fucking dumb.
Yeah, kind of remember that one. That one was stupid.
It's like 400k words.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that, like, you look at, like, this actually doesn't make sense because they heavily imply through writing that John's family is actually really decent all around.
Lego retailer raises 16k for Ukraine by selling Lego Molotov cocktails.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
it works. I suppose.
If it works, it works.
What
It
the fuck?
works.
I'm waiting for the punchline on this shit post.
Oh,
The
Lord,
gravity
what
shit post.
the fuck is
Oh.
this?
So where is there?
Where is
Oh,
from?
is there a punchline to this or something? Or is it just look at this
Where
box
funny?
crush the car?
Look at the box crush the car.
I
and then-
see. Jupiter gravity. I see.
The punchline is the latter half. Basically.
Yes, the sun gravity. I see. Yes, the punchline. Just literally
found the
flattens
funny.
everything.
It takes a second.
Congratulations.
It takes a second. But you'll get it eventually.
User, hi. All right, I'm gonna bring this up. I don't know if my little brother's still watching, but if he is, I'm gonna torture him with that picture.
Oh boy.
User was banned for this post.
You're welcome.
Oh,
You're
good,
very
he's still
wel-
here.
You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
Do
I
the fuck-
refuse to apologize for sharing this knowledge with you, but now you must suffer as I have.
Oh.
Okay. I don't understand, but okay.
Blah blah blah. You have massive amounts of aura left. Blah blah blah. So anyway, the spag is amazing. Of course, it's Cor Alaran, 25 years. He's a fucking editor for a newspaper. Of course, the spag is amazing. Blah blah blah. You have amazingly amazing reserves. Ansel militia, huntsman to support, wild animals, grim. Blah blah blah. Go out hunting with me. Blah blah blah. Gonna train you. Blah blah blah. Semblances of speed or natural agility, blah, best offense, blah blah blah. 4 arteries would kill you. People's aura often meant offensive combat wasn't that viable. If you extended your energy, you just have to bounce off their soul. That's why he and every hardened leather armor. Again, hardened leather armor. So this is something that I do actually have a complaint that is still perpetuated, and I always knew that studded leather armor was kind of dumb. Like, even back in the day when I was like freaking 9 years old playing D&D, I knew studded leather armor never really made much sense to me. I always kind of just rationale it as I guess the studs would provide a little bit more protection, question mark. So I kind of just shrugged and said, it's fantasy, whatever. But this whole, like, hardened leather armor stuff. So creating leather armor, like genuine leather armor, that is genuinely hard, doesn't work well. It works as in you can create hardened leather, but this hardened leather is hardened. It is hard. It operates more like a plate of metal than it does like leather. And it's as flexible as a plate of metal, and being that it's still made of flesh, if you bend hardened leather armor, it can snap. So, trying to work it in as armor, it can be armor. It's still just leather, though, so it's like wearing a pair of work gloves. Yeah, they provide more protection, but I'm not exactly going to be relying on my work gloves to stop a flying sword coming at my face. You know? Like, those things wear out just carrying wood around. I'm not really sure how much protection you think you're going to get from a steel rending claw. Because keep in mind, canonically, Beowulf claws are sharp enough to rend steel with minimal effort. So, I'm really not sure what hardened leather armor is supposed to protect people with. If steel does, like, that's actually, honestly, the best explanation I've seen so far for why people don't wear armor in Ruby is because armor is effectively useless in Ruby. It's like playing Bloodborne, where the actual purpose, the best armor is just to not get hit in the first place.
Ah yes, the
Just
survivability
dodge
onion. Don't
Better
get
get
hit.
good at dodging, kid.
Acquire
That's the only
better
armor.
dodge skill.
Acquire better dodge skill, indeed. Yeah. By the way, God's trousers. Go get a Ghastly and name it Yoshizilla Rhodosaurus. Because you know what Ghastly is. Fart cloud.
True.
Big round shields that were great shields. So they were issued hard leather armor and great shields. It wouldn't block the Grim entirely, but it would buy them time. Yeah, like one attack. Is Ghastly in Gen 3?
Good name.
Pretty sure that Ghastly was in Gen 3, yeah. He's definitely available. I think you might actually have to beat the game, though, to get the national decks to
Ghastly.
unlock them.
Ghastly was national.
Yeah, Ghastly was a national dex thing, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, you gotta trade from Fire to Leaf Green in Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunate.
That's unfortunate, yeah. So anyway, point being is that, yeah, let's go arm and armor these militiamen, these unpowered militiamen, with armor that effectively does nothing, and fucking great shields. Oh, by the way, that's another thing, is that hardened leather armor actually weighs a decent amount. So, you're weighing yourself down. So, and when the name of the game is to dodge, you're going to give all these guys heavy-ish armor and great shields.
Yes. This
I
makes
mean, I
sense.
suppose it would help with like the Grim that aren't really supposed to be like the ones that Huntsman fight.
But-
it's like, oh hey, there's a bunch of smaller Grim. Here, have some shields to protect yourself.
Like what? Like the only thing that's smaller than a Beowulf in terms of cannon fodder is creeps, and they have jaws that crack rock.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah,
I was
those
just thinking like
things.
the fucking. I don't know why Beowulfs are like the smallest Grim. That just doesn't
Because
really
literally
make sense.
everything else just gets bigger.
The
Yeah.
world building is
Then you have Grim
retarded.
Bears, you
Yes,
have
the
Grim
world
War
building
Elephants.
is also bad.
Yeah, the world building terrible,
Tusks
yeah.
might
Bor-
be the same size or a little bit smaller, but that's its own set of problems.
Yeah, but Borbatusks are literally tusked boar, and boar are already a problem. Without
I
them
was
being
gonna
Grim
say-
abominations.
You could probably have like some
That
human-like Grim, but then
spin
you'd probably
go
get a cease and
fast.
desist from.
Yeah, it's that fucking
GW.
Sonic at you. Yeah, if you thought boars were a problem, just wait till they're bigger, have more tusk, and Sonic at you. Yeah. So again, honestly, I think the coolest bit of world building for Ruby that they could have put in there would have been that the towns that these people at the hunt, like they could have just had, you know, huntsmen show up at the town, like Team Ruby shows up at town, and everyone's using Grimbone as armor and weapons, and you know, as part of their building structures and whatnot, because you know, Grimbone's like super resilient or some shit because it's tough enough to rend steel without, you know, decaying.
Yeah. Honestly, it's really weird that they're like everything disappears, but then there's heavy implications that ravens, what the fuck are those birds called?
What birds?
The grim birds.
Nevermores?
I don't. The
Yeah,
what?
the crows, the Grim crows.
Yeah.
Nevermores.
There's heavy implication that Raven's Nevermore mask is actually a proper Nevermore mask. It's
Yeah.
like, this is a free building material for huntsmen and huntresses.
Yeah.
Am I expected to believe that for the last 1 to 200 years they haven't figured out how to strip them of these bones before they disintegrate fully?
Well, I mean, not even that. It's like you could even say that like the Grimbone, because they also canonize the fact that Grimbone signifies the age of the Grim, and if Grim get bigger as the longer they live, and Grim are attracted to / feed off of people's negativity and emotions, you could say that Grimbone is literally hardened like emotion and shit like that, and so that's what remains when the soft stuff dissipates.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even
Or
have to
I'll-
say, like, they strip them off. Like, that's just
Yeah.
the shit that stays around.
Yeah, or if you want to have it be a base like, oh, the Grim tend to pop up consistently in forest or what would be considered animal graveyards.
Oh, yeah, that's yeah, yeah.
The bones are just reinforced,
Mm-hmm.
and they stick around again, and that might be interesting. Like, oh, this is the type of Grim that only pops up because it's been essentially reincarnated 3 times. It's the same set of bones with a different power set each time or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like, there's a lot of ways you can go with that, and then you can even take that farther and say that the reason why the weapons, like, why people would still, if you want to keep with the sci-fi angle, you could then take that a step farther, and there's your fantasy material that you can use to explain your sci-fi materials, is that they then take the bones and melt that with the iron, and that makes Grim Steel or some shit, which is steel that's stronger than Grimbone.
Yeah, we're just gonna Monster Hunter this, yeah, pretty much.
And so bing bang boom, you have your fantasy material, you have your reason why it's limited, and you have the reason why the weapons can pierce it still. It's so fucking simple that it's baffling. Like, I understand why Monty didn't think about this stuff, because he was an animator who just liked anime and fights.
Yeah, and he had an idea for a world based heavily off fairy tales, and
yeah,
that was about it.
But I can't fathom why the 2 people he's told to write shit couldn't figure this shit out. Like, it's so simple and easy, and it's not even that complicated, and it just hurts.
Because the homework he gave them,
A bunch
they
of
didn't
anime.
pass.
Yeah, I know.
Clearly.
Yeah, and that's obvious. Yeah.
Honestly, he should have just given them a Monster Hunter game or God Eater and just like play through one of these.
You know what? That's
I don't
fair.
care which one.
Honestly, just giving the animators in general, hey guys, look at this game. Just look at the moves that the people use in the game, because like the animations are pretty solid in Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
And other Monster Hunter games. Of like, how would someone wielding a hammer the size of them look when they're like trying to swing it around? You know, they're doing shit like grabbing the very end of the handle and like swinging themselves around to fulcrum it, and just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, fair enough, fine. If someone was genuinely that strong and had that much stamina to constantly wield the weapon would be wielded like that. It's just, I don't know. It kind of just baffles me a little bit. There's so much resources and so much ability for them to patch up any smaller holes in the background of the story, and it just
Didn't.
yeah.
Well, and that's one of the advantages of having your own world. It's also a major disadvantage too.
Yeah, that
You
you
can
actually
ignore the
have to
plot
come up
holes
with that
as you
shit.
want,
Yeah.
but you gotta keep in mind people are gonna start nitpicking that, especially
I mean,
when it comes
certainly,
to world mechanics.
yeah, but as you know, as a writer, you can certainly hand wave a lot of stuff out of like, look, if this is an action and adventure story, I don't really need to explain the economy to you guys. I'm looking at you, Tanya, author. Really wish you did that hand wave. But you know, this is an action adventure story. I don't need to explain the economy or the noble successions trees and the political relationships between people. Like, you don't really need to explain that because it's just about, you know, some dude going out, fighting bad guys, gaining power, and saving the day. But if you have a chapter or multiple chapters dedicated to the hero talking about maintaining their weapon and how their weapon works, people are going to start expecting for your world to have some consistency in how weapons work in that world. Like if you're like, oh yeah, my sword is made of mithril, and you know you have to heat up the forge to 10 bajillion degrees so we can melt it. It's that intense. And then people are going to be like, okay, well, how do you get the forge to 10,000 degrees? Because clearly someone did. You know, and then people are going to be like, okay, well, why don't these people? These are people even richer than the hero. Why don't they have mithril? I like that word actually, mithril. I don't think I've seen that word ever before, so I'm going to take that. But you know what I mean, like, yeah. And you know, like if this is some fantasy metal, and that's explaining as to why your weapon is just so much more durable than other swords that would, you know, bend, break, and chip with all the shit the hero does with it, and you're like, oh, this is why. This is some legendary weapon that the hero uses, and you go into an explanation about it. It's fair. Like, people are obviously going to try and nitpick before that, but if you start going into explanations about, oh, this is how chakra works, this is how Superman's powers work, you've opened up the arena for people to sit there and be like, okay, well, you're not being consistent anymore here, here, and here now, because your explanation of how this works no longer coincides with how you had this event happen. You know? Like, they mentioned, like, something along the lines about John's sword being, like, super durable or some shit. I think we've covered this before, and then they later on had the sword snap. Or something. I forget what it was.
I don't know. I think the only big deal they made about Sean's sword was that it was passed down between like about 3 or 4 generations back.
Okay, that might have been it, because, I mean, again, a sword shouldn't be passed down between multiple generations like that. It shouldn't be possible. Like, if that sword's been like, if that's like an heirloom sword of like, yeah, we just wear this, it could be understandable. But if like, yeah, this sword was actively used in years of combat, it wouldn't be viable to continue using it unless it was special, which I think is why people thought it was ultra durable or something.
I'm pretty sure there's implications that it was used by his grandfather or his great-grandfather during.
Oh, I think it was literally used by his
war.
great-grandfather during the war, because wasn't there the whole statue with his great-grandfather holding the sword in Beacon?
I have no
And, like,
idea.
John was in front of the statue and was like looking at it.
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. It's been
of
a
course.
long time.
Golly, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you look at, it's like, oh, they actually planned far ahead enough with that, and others where it's like, oh, okay, this was way after the fact. Like,
Yeah.
it's Salem's introduction. It's like, oh, wait, we heard this voice in the very first episode because it was meant to be a back and forth between the villain and the sage of the story.
Yeah. So then, anyway, the author goes on, Core goes on. Alongside this, the militia carried one spear. Why not just a spear then? You don't really carry multiple spears. You carry multiple javelins. Maybe short spears, I guess, if you're going to throw them for some reason. But why would you just carry a javelin at that point? A knife designed for skinning.
I think he means they had one spear between all of them. The way
Is this Soviet Russia? No.
Okay,
Yeah.
the way this sentence is structured.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, yeah.
You pick up the spear from your comrade who has fallen before you.
You get the spear pole, you get the spearhead, you get the pommel.
DIY.
Good luck,
Build the
dude,
spear.
with this pommel. Have fun.
I mean, hey, people have killed people with the pommel of swords before.
End them rightly.
It's tried and true tradition.
What
Alongside
if it's
that,
an heirloom pommel?
this pommel's been passed down for 300 years between the family. It's said that the first pommel user, David, once killed a Goliath with this pommel. I'm not sorry.
Understandable. I wouldn't
Trying to
either.
figure out where
was
you were
there.
going with that. It's like that one pebble was so baller, they turned it into a pommel.
When you roll a nat 20 on that rock throw. And the dice just keep exploding. Alongside that, the militia carried one spear, a knife designed for skinning, and a few of them even had guns. Not John, though, because guns were rare in the Wild West. Because no one could buy weapons-grade dust. And no one's invented black powder, apparently. Which, by the way, Atin and I, when we met IRL, Atin and I actually sat down and tried to figure out how efficiently could one, in the post-apocalypse, create a saltpeter farm to get black powder? The answer is actually quite easily. It's just time-consuming.
Yep.
I mean, here's the issue, Sneaky. If you have black powder in a setting suddenly with magic, you're gonna get a letter from the good old boys at GW very quickly.
What?
Why?
Probably because they think you're somehow infringing on their IP. Because everything's infringing on GW's IP these days, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to see them take that to court. They put black powder in a fantasy medieval setting.
So, point
Okay.
being, is, you're really going to try and sit here and tell me that nobody at any point in time tried to make an alternative to the super expensive, hard to find gun dust?
I'm surprised.
No one ever tried to find an alternative to gun dust, especially when you're a village in the middle of bumfuck nowhere? No one's going to be like, hey, maybe we should figure out an alternative to a super expensive military-grade gun dust.
No one ever figured that out because it takes too much time, Sneaky.
Yeah, right.
That's fucking crazy talk.
DIY pipe shotgun.
No.
Yeah.
I trust
And
even if
on the
black
list-
powder isn't an option in this world for one reason or another, they would just set about using plain ass bow and arrows, but those dudes would be jacked because they would need bows of a certain
Like, literally,
weight.
no one would ever figure it out, huh? Literally, this dude put a pipe together and you figure out how to attach a wood stick to it to make it fucking click at the back so a bullet could come out. You're telling me that this fucking dude doesn't exist in the death world?
Yeah, the funny thing is, Core is British.
Only this
I
dude
know
would
who's
exist in the
also
death
British.
world. But yes, I'm aware.
Fucking
Yeah, he's
Philip
British.
Ludi.
Yeah, fucking that guy too. The make yourself
Homemade
gun. Yeah.
9mm SMG.
Yeah, the Philip Ludi, yeah. But like literally, like Are you're really gonna sit here and tell me that the country bumpkins, who have no law oversight, didn't make their own guns? Really? Okay. Next you're gonna be telling me there isn't a moonshine over that hill. Ukrainian
There is no
propaganda is so
moonshine
good. If
in
someone said that Weiss was actually fighting the Russian soldiers, like that one Ruby fic. Oh god, that's right. Ruby needs more small mom and pop gun shops. They really do, yes. They need more shops in general, so they can have more than just one shopkeeper that's been copied and pasted.
They need
It
capitalism.
was implied to have a hand in multiple industries in downtown Vale.
Yes. And worked at all of them.
Curious.
The gun
You know what?
dust
They
is
should just
extremely
made
volatile, yeah.
shopkeep like they should just made that an Officer Jenny situation. It's just a family of twins.
I mean, I think that's semi what it was kind of a reference to. It's knowing Monty.
What they should have done was they should
Oh
have
no,
just
I
made
think they referred to it to him as shopkeep consistently.
Yes, they did.
What
They
they
did,
should
but
have
they should
done
have just
is
made it so that
consume
his-
hydrogen cyanide.
Make the
Oh, boy.
shopkeeper hot. Don't tell me you're down bad for fucking Officer Jenny. And I mean all of those words literally. Please, I do not need to know about my little brother this way.
Too
Tell him
late.
about your secret Kingdom Hearts Sora times Riku fictions.
What, his or
He
mine?
definitely wants to hear about those.
The Ruby shopkeeper is the guy from the old Onion skit that takes everyone's job. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Couldn't buy weapons grade dust, so everyone just gave up on making guns. Yep. Yeah, that's
Oh,
we didn't have a full machine shop, guys, so I guess we just can't make firearms. Says
Unfortunate.
yeah, we just couldn't make any firearms with some. We don't have machine shops, guy.
What?
We just couldn't make a gun. Says the prisoner who just proceeds to make a crossbow that works out of fucking toothpicks and gum.
Don't forget
Yeah.
the people who made poop shivs.
Yeah, the
I
poop
just
shit.
realized, by the way.
Like humans will turn anything into a weapon successfully.
Yeah. Also,
That's
he
just
mentions
what we do.
weapons grade dust. You don't need a weapons grade dust to make it, deadly.
No, you don't. No,
Huh.
you don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, Max, if they can't afford weapons grade dust, I guess they just couldn't afford any arrow dust either. So I guess they're out of bows. They can't make any bows. They couldn't afford arrow dust.
Oh,
True.
Without
okay.
arrow dust, how are you supposed to make an arrow?
No idea.
This is
can't.
why this is the unfortunate reality of being British. You lose about 20 IQ points.
I think it's just something in the air.
No, see, Sneaky, it's not that they lost them, it's that all of them went to Wombo for those grenade plays.
Of course. As such, the
Hey,
only
big to
firearms in
Australia.
the village were from huntsmen, which ran on old stores of dust. Ah, yes, the old dust. That is somehow never exhausted by the fact that these huntsmen go out and hunt Grim constantly. These huntsmen were just such doomsday preppers that they bought so much weapons grade dust that they would probably be on like multiple watch lists.
What did you do with all this weapon grade dust? We made gyrocopters. You made
I buried
what?
it in back. What do you mean you buried it in the back? Oh, I buried it in the back. In a container, right? Containers are expensive.
Explosion.
Yeah,
Jimmy
sorry
just
guys,
went
I
out
lost
back
all
with a
my
shovel,
weapons
didn't he?
grade dust in a boating accident.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Vale government. I lost all my weapons grade dust in a boating accident.
Exactly.
Why is all that dirt dug up in your backyard? Farming. Oh god.
Strange weather we're having this year, isn't it?
Those were often
Yes.
granted to their children, even if they didn't want to become huntsmen themselves. So they just forced the guns on the child. Okay, interesting. Even if you
That's about as
had a
Second
gun,
Amendment as it gets.
even
Yeah,
if you
try
had a
that gun.
gun, you had to go through extreme training to be allowed to bring it with you. As not
British.
everyone had their aura unlocked to use it. Why would you?
Yeah, do you need aura to pull a trigger or something?
Yeah, apparently you need aura to pull a trigger.
They're going to
Luckily,
be worried
Ansel
about
was a
friendly
town
fire.
full of retired huntsmen, so they had decent amount of guns, and in their advanced age, they were quick to swat the heads of kids who started playing with weapons. Okay, sure. Idly, John wished he had a sword. He'd been training to use one, but Nicholas wasn't convinced enough to change the rules. Spears were easy, he said. I mean, yeah.
They are.
It's not wrong.
Pointy
because
end towards enemy.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
why people use
generally
them.
speaking, generally speaking, you're far enough ahead that you don't have to worry. Or far enough
It's
away.
so much
like,
weapons grade dust buried that Salem's scared for attacking them for fear of the continent collapsing from retaliation. Indeed. Spears were easy, he said. That's why people use them for thousands of years. Just poke the thing you don't like and stay out of reach. It would be more than enough to keep the wolves and even a small bear at bay. I mean, yeah, honestly, I understand why swords are like favorited in fantasy. They're cool and stuff, but honestly, if you're on a death world,
Spears and
And-
halberds.
and yeah, spears and halberds, because you have your armor piercing, and you got to keep them far away. Because if you're fighting a werewolf, effectively, you're fighting a demon
The armor
werewolf.
piercing.
No, I mean, yeah,
I'm just Sneaky, you know halberds aren't exactly like Total War, right?
you know that halberds were used against knights, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying the way you said it, I was just like, what is he thinking of when he's saying that?
I'm thinking of the historical usage of halberds.
Very well, carry on.
which was to bonk men in armor.
Yeah, I know.
yes, heavily armored people.
Because it turns out if you're swinging around and how heavy were halberds? 8 to 10 pounds ish, maybe.
They
15?
were pretty heavy, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, like
I
you
mean,
got
big
a
massive
very
ball.
large fulcrum going on, and you got effectively an axe wedge or hammer at the end of this spear.
it was usually axes, I think.
Well, it depends on the country of origin and the time period. They changed them up a bunch to reflect the armor they were fighting against.
Yep.
But you got, and also another thing that's commonly misrepresented is that these poles, while they weren't metal in themselves, they did usually have metal reinforcing on them to a point to make sure that the pull heft did not snap.
Well,
And, also
yeah, they were
protected
also
the,
fighting horses like
yeah.
90 a lot, so they had to make sure it didn't snap.
But still, so there's a decent amount of weight being swung around on a very large fulcrum, and it doesn't really matter if the axe head was sharp or not. Just being hit by that, or the hammerhead would. I guess you don't need to worry about your hammerhead being sharp unless you're playing Monster Hunter. Thanks, Monster Hunter. Yeah, my hammerhead
Thanks,
sharpness
Monster
is going
Hunter.
down. Gotta sharpen my hammerhead, guys. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like it's the same concept of just like, oh, hey, I'm
Yeah.
hitting you with a really hard thing.
I'm hitting
I'm
you with a
swinging
hard,
really
heavy
hard.
object going fast. It doesn't matter what armor you're wearing. This will hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah, but sneaky, like, how else are you gonna penetrate their armor if you don't have the sharpness?
Ah, yes, of course.
Right.
Yes, my monomolecular 1,000-folded edge.
Exactly.
That's depressing.
yes.
My 1,000-folded halberd.
Hey, maybe that means my halberdiers will actually kill something.
See, I laugh about this, but that's actually what they did. There was that one Japanese weapon that's literally just a katana with a really long shaft attached to it.
The
The
naginata.
Yeah.
It's literally their spear.
Yeah.
No, they had
Long
actual
katana.
spears.
Yes, they
had
had
the
the
Yari.
Yari, yeah. But they also had the Naginata troops, which, yeah.
Yeah, the
Long katana.
naginata was samurai for the most part. The Yari was typically the Ashigaru, which is the commoners.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there were normal boring spears for normal boring people, but the cool weebs.
And then
Exactly.
some of them
Imagine
apparently
going
made
back in
pikes.
time, just calling a samurai a weeb. You fucking weeb using a naginata.
Fucking rich person. Cringe.
You weeb.
I can see it now. Oh my god, dude! Please put your naginata away. You're fucking weeb. It's embarrassing, bro.
Fucking weeb.
Where am I
We are
supposed to
in
put it?
Japan.
We're in Japan, yeah, but this is making less of a weeb. Oh god. No, I did like the I saw several discussions on the European knight versus samurai debates because you know they were the same time period effectively. But obviously it was a very unfair matchup because the European knights are used to fighting people in armor and out of armor.
Well, I was gonna say, let's be clear. They're used to fighting people in armor and out of armor, and they're used to fighting people in armor while out of armor too.
Yeah. And so because of that, they usually did have arming swords. They usually did have a mace. They usually did have like they had several weapons that were specifically made to counter each scenario they could encounter. Meanwhile, in Japan, because of the lack of iron, there wasn't chainmail. You couldn't make chainmail out of it. There wasn't like the idea of making plate mail out of it was a foreign concept, effectively. And so what
Their
they
armor
usually
was wood.
literally hardened
Well,
leather,
ceramic.
Paper
ceramic, hardened leather, and wood. And this is what I'm talking about, where you did have hardened leather being used as armor, but it was effectively layered, and it was quite heavy. And it was good if you were being attacked by people with, you know, spears and arrows and shit. But if someone's, you know, swinging a sword at you, it's not quite as effective. Or God forbid, someone's swinging a fucking iron mace at you. That's,
Yeah, you're wearing armor and someone's like starting to come down on you with a heavy mace. Just pretend your armor doesn't exist. You dodge that.
dodge.
Ball.
Well, no,
You
no.
can
If
dodge
you're wearing,
if you can dodge a mace, you can dodge a cannonball. Go.
That's not how that works. Those are two very different things.
I know, but I mean, do you think some idiot wouldn't think that's applicable in medieval times?
Well, I mean, you thought it, so it's clearly possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so they didn't have any bow dust or weapons dust, so they didn't have any bows and arrows, and they didn't have any guns. Blah blah blah,
Sneaky.
spears, blah blah blah. Ansel was
Fuck
peaceful.
weapons grade dust. Where's my nuclear weapons grade dust?
Where's my nuclear grade dust? Yeah. Every now and then, a single grim would see the wood walls and try to kill itself. Sharp stakes on the perimeter. Yeah. So wait, this town is surrounded by wood, and you're saying this is a city, Max?
No, it's meant to be a village. He starts treating it more like a small town.
Ah, I see. Okay.
And complete with a hospital, by the way.
Okay, look, so there in the Wild West there even was doctor buildings. Wouldn't call it a hospital per se. But,
Those were clinics,
yeah,
those are
not
funny.
hospitals.
yeah.
And that was more where like
This is a hospital with an actual morgue.
Morgues were also a thing-ish in the West.
I'm pretty sure
know.
we called those the Undertaker's
Yeah,
office.
we did. Yeah.
So,
Point being is that yeah, that's a little bit very extremely modern.
it's the way he describes everything and treats everything that I'm just like, eh.
Oh, it's because he's British. He can't comprehend the idea of not every single little town having a fully structured health system. No, the walls of Ansel were 6 meters tall with wooden gatehouses. 6 meter tall wood, that's 18 feet.
18
That's
feet.
a full story. I mean, fair enough, I guess.
That's
That's
really tall for a
Full
wood
story.
wall,
That's
bro.
like 2 stories, my guy.
no, 15 feet's about the average for school floor height in America, at least.
That's kind of retarded. All right.
Yeah, welcome to American schools.
Yeah, 10 to 15.
10 people stood around, blah blah blah. John coming today. Your first hunt lag. Keep your wits about you. Only thing he needs to worry about is wolves. Actually, no. Yeah, you don't need to worry about wolves at all. Wolves don't attack people.
Well, they used to.
No, like if you were alone and you had a full pack, yeah, they would attack you. But wolves generally don't want to pick fights with other packs because that kills them. And animals, shockingly, don't want to die. So wolves, being decently intelligent, generally don't attack people unless they're A, starving, or B, trying to protect their nests.
Yep.
Den?
Whatever. Know what I mean? The place where the wolves
yes.
sleep and
Gotta
care for their
protect
children.
the wolf eggs.
Gotta protect the wolf eggs. Yeah, you know, it's the Pokemon world.
Exactly.
Fair
I'm
enough.
going to dignify you people with a response.
We
We're
know
like
what we're here
30
for.
minutes over.
Wolves have approached foresters. There's no attacks, yes, but if they're this desperate... Yeah, okay, so this is exactly what I'm saying. He even says it here. No attacks yet, but the wolves are being seen around humans, and if they're this desperate to be seen by humans, then it's only a matter of time before they start attacking the humans. Yeah. Been a cold autumn, early winter. Animals know we're in for a harsh winter. Luckily, all the harvesting was done from weeks ago. Shipments from Vale, blah, blah, blah. Shopping lists, lecture items, blah, blah, blah. Make sure our boys get firewood. Firewood. It sounded so mundane, but John knew better. Most homes these days had heating systems that ran off of dust. Ah, yes, heat dust! The legendary natural gas dust.
What do you
They
think
weren't
the
importing it from
sanctions
on
on
space Russia.
Atlas are
Yeah,
gonna
they're importing it
affect the
from
dust supply?
Russia slash America slash fucking... What
Yeah.
was the other country they mashed into Atlas? It was like supposed to be this Russia-America cross.
I don't know anymore.
Us America.
The log fires
Yeah.
were the main way to keep warm in colder months, but foresters couldn't expend themselves with wolves lurking to pick off the weak and tired.
Yeah.
Without
Well-
firewood, people would freeze to death. Okay, again, so this is another thing. You're not harvesting firewood during fall unless the tree's already fallen, really. As I live in a house that runs off of wood fire. We do have gas fire in some other parts of the house, but the largest section of our house is heated by wood fire. And majority of our wood is cut during summer and early fall. Because the wood has to dry out. Because if you don't dry out the wood, it doesn't burn as well.
Yeah.
However, if you're making charcoal, fresh cut wood's fine because you're already burning it to make the charcoal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff goes into it. But honestly, if you're heating your house, typically, especially in the more modern times, charcoal was used. Like even in the 1600s, charcoal was used more than firewood because charcoal was fairly easy to make. If you're using firewood, I mean, typically it's because that's just what you gathered because you mostly have to pay for charcoal, and you're competing with local smiths and cookeries and whatnot for charcoal. So you only have so much charcoal to work with.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if I'm crazy. I'm a little bothered that he's saying Ansel isn't the richest of villages after telling us that huntsmen have a tendency to retire there.
Yeah.
Implying
Ansel's
that there's
not
a
a
significant portion.
Yeah, Ansel's not a rich village, but they have a hospital, a morgue, Old huntsmen all retired there with their fucking doomsday prepper levels of dust.
Yeah, a large chunk of the population there is retired huntsmen and huntresses. So maybe it's not like material-wise, maybe I could see, but all of them are on nest eggs. Don't fucking lie to me.
Yeah.
They got paid what they lived long enough to retire in that line of work. They're fucking loaded.
But yeah, point being is that late autumn, you wouldn't be gathering firewood for the upcoming winter. You'd be gathering firewood for next year. During winter, you'd be gathering firewood for next year unless you really need the wood. Again, like I said, it's better for the wood to dry out.
Yeah, you
makes
don't
more
want to
heat.
try and burn wet firewood. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And it stinks and it's smoky.
Yeah, very smoky. And honestly, you'd just be better off just making charcoal out of it. So.
Yeah.
The stuff, yeah, like, all of this stuff, it's not even shit that I like looked up on a lark. It's because I was playing video games, and the video game was like, we're gonna be historically accurate. I'm like, well, okay, this is interesting. Also,
And
I
then you
was
sit
helping
there
Gray
and
with
think to
writing.
yourself, I could go do this myself now.
Honestly, I probably could.
Learn how charcoal is made for a single chapter.
It's honestly very interesting, and there's a lot of byproducts from charcoal production that are quite useful.
If
Like,
if I throw more money at you and Gray Sneaky, will I get a chapter faster?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Oh, I already
It's
threw you
not
my
a
prime sub.
definite.
Well, that's different. That's not that's money going to me. That's not money going to Gray. I don't pay Gray. Gray pays me.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, when you think about it, technically, I was really just paying myself.
Indeed.
In a very roundabout fashion.
In a very roundabout fashion.
The problem is that you're not even getting the full money back. You're losing 2/3 of it.
I know.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
But I don't mind.
2/3.
I don't mind subsidizing Max.
Indeed. You're subsidizing Max by paying me. Interesting way to go about it.
You pay Max.
Without firewood, people would freeze to death, which made the militia's duty so important to go hunt wolves. Okay. It wasn't slaying an army of Grimm to rescue princesses, but it was still important. So yeah, blah blah blah. John's talking to people, or unlocked, big talk, pause training you, sounds cool, blah blah blah, talk back and forth. You know, so like I said, Core's experience at this point when it comes to writing, he's doing a fairly good job of mixing in world information into a casual conversation that two kids might be having on a boring hunting trip. So I mean, and Core does also a decent job at writing to the age level the character's supposed to be that. I say decent job because pretty much every character reacts the same, but because he all writes them around the same age generally, it works out. Unfortunately, he does have a bad habit of when he tries to write characters outside of that mold he has, you end up with eco-terrorist Salem and big bad Ozpin. So it's a, 50-50 shot.
It was still really weird. He kept insisting Ozpin wasn't the big bad during that entire section,
Look,
too.
John, I'm only trying to murder you and undo everything you've done because the time loop must continue. I'm the good guy.
I mean, he's also a creepy evil Demilich, as I have said time and again.
Yes. Merchant,
I'm sorry,
drivers,
I do want just one story. Like a D&D player shows up and just pulls out the monster manual, reads off the definition of Demilich to Ozpin. Ozpin's face contorts.
You're a Demilich. Oh, fuck you say.
You're also evil.
Blah blah blah. Unlocking your semblance doesn't work in a simple 1-2 easy manner. You can take years to unlock your semblance, and some people never do. Almost all supernatural abilities tend to pigeonhole you, his father claimed, which is why you should always hold off on unlocking your semblance until you had a good foundation.
Not
I mean,
inaccurate.
Yeah, it's not inaccurate, but the problem is, it's sort of like whatever. The Flash shouldn't use his abilities. He should just get stronger first before he runs around using his abilities.
Okay, here's the counterpoint. The Flash would be a lot more useful if he actually knew how to throw a couple punches.
I don't disagree with you, but there is a distinct difference between learning how to throw a couple punches and not using your abilities to go fast until you do.
Right, but the counterpoint to that
Yeah.
is if before he started running around at the speed of sound, the Flash knew, right? If he'd taken a couple lessons from Wildcat, he would have been much more effective.
Are all of Korra's stories like this? Yes. They're all very formulaic. He definitely does have a formula down. Now, like I said, the SPAG is always good. Spelling and grammar is what SPAG stands for. It's always good. It's quality SPAG. The dialogue is always middling. Sometimes it's very sometimes it's pretty good. Most of the time it's like, all right. Overall, his ability to incorporate world building into dialogue is occasionally forced. Sometimes you actually have some really good lines coming out of him, like in his coffee shop AU, where he had Adam talk, the big bad. And Adam delivered some very good, high-quality lines at one point about him being the bad guy and why he's the bad guy, and it was generally quite good. It's just those really gold lines are very few and far in between. Usually, maybe once a story. Doesn't help that his stories are usually so fucking long that by the end of his stories they're so beyond nonsensical that you're kind of just like, oh my god, is it still going? How many more chapters?
We've been talking about this for over an hour past the normal time.
Yeah, it is
That
what
is
it is.
correct.
And, it's what happens when you have something to talk about.
Pretty much.
Interesting.
So
talk
anyway,
about
they
in
talk
that
about
note there.
I was
superpowers,
gonna say.
yada yada, wolves show up, yada yada, they get attacked, yada yada. Odd behavior for wolves, something scarier is coming, it's a Grim. Retreat, there's Grim around, blah blah blah, and then some people die and get hurt. Then Ursa shows up, offs Tommen, the OC that John was talking to. Yada yada. Run for your lives, run for your lives. John, where are you? Run for your lives, get out of here. So they all start running away. And John's panicking and screaming, and then his dad dies or something. Yeah, dad dies. And John starts crying, having a PTSD fit. And then John proceeds to scream and have a mental breakdown once more. And then all the people that died get back up. And so then everyone's like, oh my god,
Okay.
he brought the dead back to life. Amazing. His power is the ability to bring people back to a pre-death state with the injuries that dealt them pre-death state are nullified. Is there limits and caveats? Yes. Will that matter in determining whether John becomes a kind of commodity people would kill to have? No. This is very much a John with an OP semblance story, but my goal is to not make John OP himself. I mean, that's fair enough. With this kind of semblance, that is actually fair enough that John himself wouldn't be OP, because really, at the end of the day, his ability is to make other people who are OP come back to life after they die. The scene with Adam in the coffee shop was the best portrayal I've ever seen. Yes, true. To be honest, the best implementation of don't use your special abilities because you'll handicap your growth thing I've seen is the Tanya Danmachi fic. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But that's honestly more in line with Danmachi because you actually get stronger for using your weaker abilities.
I caveated by saying,
Yeah.
I don't care about Danmachi, so that's probably a thing from Danmachi. But, that implementation actually makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not the same thing yet.
Well, because you also have that partial gamer system that genuinely rewards you for doing that.
Yep,
But
exactly.
honestly, people generally, if you
Is
don't
your
have a
defense
gamer
trash?
system,
Go get punched in the mouth 7 times.
more or less, or
Kinda.
just lift some heavy rocks.
Yeah, lift rocks. It works.
Lift rocks instead of being punched.
Yep. Become
Sneaky,
strength.
Sneaky. I can see it now. The true hazing of the new people of the Adventurers Guild. So how do I increase your defense? Well, you gotta get punched in the mouth a lot.
I'm sorry. Instantly cuts to him being punched in the mouth.
In one way, this story is going to try and be like Null if Null wasn't forced to become a criminal. Null was cringe. Honestly, it was cringe. Null was basically about John gets a semblance to nullify other people's aura, including their semblances, which has an interesting idea because effectively he doesn't have aura himself, so if he just trained himself up to be peak fighter, then he could take advantage of everyone else who relies on aura to, you know, amplify their strikes and whatnot, to bring them down to his level and then beat them with experience. Very interesting idea. How he went about it was having Atlas kidnap and kill his whole family after they were talking about making him rape his sister to produce more people with his semblance, because semblances aren't hereditary until they need to be for plot reasons.
It's the direction that story went after I dropped it.
Yeah.
Well, that's an escalation, I suppose.
Yeah.
Glad I dropped it.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then the White Fang shows up and rescues John, and he's like, I pledge my life to the White Fang, and becomes a terrorist.
Despite being human.
Yeah, despite being human.
Yeah, they're totally willing to accept the normie human.
Yep.
Yes. Because they justified it by saying that he's a brother in arms of the suffering of humans. Yes. Yeah. It's I think this guy likes John. Well, John's a very likable character to write in terms of fan fiction due to the fact that originally he is basically a self-insert of one of the writers. So a lot of people use him. Also, Monty, the original creator of the story, wanted to use John as the audience insert to enable him to explain to John things, to explain to the audience through John how things work in his world. Again, this comes down to the fact that he was an animator first and a writer second. That idea only works so much in like a world that is similar to our own. It works a lot better. So say, you know, in a world like DC or Marvel, where it's basically our world, so we already have a foundation of understanding, but then superpowers show up and the person's like, whoa, what's the superpower? And then they explain the superpower to the person. Oh, well, he got a serum and he got bit by an ant, and that guy, he just has a big dick.
By the way, not even joking. That is the entire point of Booster Gold.
Yes. Yes. But then when you have a world like Ruby...
The 10-second summary of Booster Gold is a giant fanboy who decided to use, like, I forget what it was, like 32nd century technology to go back in time to be a superhero and hang out with all the cool kids.
Yeah. And so anyway, point being is that when you try to apply the same thing to a sci-fi story or a fantasy story that is significantly divergent, say with aura or magic, it only makes so much sense. If you have magic be a more rare thing, sort of like a la D&D or Familiar of Zero if you're going to use an anime, where only a certain section of the population have access to these powers, and if, say, a commoner comes across this section of population, it's justifiable for them to not know much about magic, so therefore you can explain to the audience what magic is and how it works. Because someone who is in this audience, someone who is in this group that has magic, would already know what magic is. They wouldn't need the fundamentals of magic explained to them, but the fundamentals of magic sometimes need to be explained to the audience, because then you can more understand what the hell is going on and why only some people can throw around certain spells and yada yada yada, and why the stakes are so... Oh, he's a 4-dot mage! What the fuck does 4-dot mean? Well, we can explain that to you, but this character already knows about it, so it kind of doesn't make sense to why we're explaining it. Can I recommend a fandom to read fanfics from? Yeah, we can. We'll have to do that next week though, because we are at 10
way
o'clock.
over.
We are
Well,
way over. I just
Friday.
want to finish it up with an explanation about why John doesn't work as a audience explanation. So, if you want an audience explanation in a sci-fi universe that works, Luke Skywalker's a great one. The reason why Luke Skywalker works is because the Foundation is much like our own world in terms of simple things. Guy's a farmhand. What does he farm? He farms water. Why does he farm water? He's on a desert planet. Fair enough. Okay, understandable. There's a trade caravan coming through. It's one of those things that is just like so out from being a guy who farms freaking water on a desert planet that it's cool, it's interesting, and we are cool and interested in it. And why does Luke not know a lot about pretty much anything going on in this Star Wars universe? It's because he's a farmhand on a desert planet. So he doesn't have access to a lot of information or understanding, and it's understandable why he doesn't. But then you have John, who lives a very comfortable life in a very large family. Most of people, which are either huntsmen or in, higher education positions, such as radio engineer. And he's a big comic book and movie fan. On a world where aura is so common that people market themselves based off of their uniforms that they create for themselves to personalize with. And you're telling me he doesn't know about aura? You're telling me he doesn't know about weapons? You're telling me that despite him being this mega fan of this whole section of amplified real world for him stuff, he doesn't know about any of it, and so he needs to get it all explained to him, despite him stealing a family heirloom, assumedly getting money to sneak into a city that's locked down with 30-meter tall walls, and then proceeding to acquire a illegal identity to fake his way into the premier combat school of the world? And he doesn't know about aura, but he can manage to do the rest of that? That's why it doesn't work. It doesn't make any freaking sense. It would have made more sense if he got everything wrong about it all, because that's all he knew was the comic book shit. But at least he knew about it. But no. He didn't know about it, and they tried to use him as an explanation device, and it didn't work out because it didn't make any freaking sense. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock. Went an hour over. I got excited. I explained a lot of shit. We had fun. Bada bing, bada boom.
We actually had, I think 11 viewers concurrent the entire time.
Yeah, so, but, it kind of makes up for what's about to happen. So what's about to happen is I'm going to be heading out on Wednesday. I'm going to be going down to Florida. I might not be back till next Wednesday, which means the next Tuesday and the next Friday episodes are not going to be happening.
Unfortunate.
My condolences.
We will definitely see everyone on Friday of next week, because there is always more, and it always gets worse.